Madness. Oh, do I have to click this? Come on, work. Work. Fingers crossed. Hey, I think it's working. Okay. Man, what a bunch of shenaniganry. All right, well, there we go. I'm pretty sure we managed to scrap this together. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll be keeping up with chat in my other monitor. Hope everything's going well for you guys. Today, we're going to be playing a fun old tournament here, which is essentially going to be a what's it? It's a tournament that uses the domination maps to enforce basic attacking rules, which means that in general, this tournament should be a lot simpler than many of the others. And from that, well, simpler in terms of the rules, so players don't have to worry about getting, mixed up because of crazy rules. There will be no confusion on that front. There'll be a lot less moderation work for me. And overall, it's hopefully a good time. A tournament has started. I'm thinking if this goes well, this may very well be one of the more meta ways to run a Warhammer tournament, since I think most casters don't want to, deal with a ton of extra rules and adminning and such, and a lot of, also by the way, the bracket. I haven't done a tournament I haven't actually hosted a tournament in a while, so please forgive any slowdowns that we have today. But yeah, there's the bracket. We're going to be using that as our army blocker. But for now, let's go ahead and host a lobby and get our first opponent in here. It's actually going to be Dactor. Sick. All right, let's see here. We are up. Nice. So the general idea for today, and sorry, chat is real difficult for me to see today. Let me see if I can get my monitor setups actually showing off chat properly. Let's see if I just go to the main stream. Would that work? I think it would. Yeah, this works more or less fine. All right, but yeah, this is gonna be, I guess this is gonna be a bit of a casual stream today. But yeah, the settings are as follows. For anyone who's wondering, you just you go over here. You can adjust the funds to 31,000, and that makes it where this is the proper land battle limit. And then if you add on unit caps, then you're basically good to go. Scale is ultra, and I don't think there's there's much more complexity to it. It's as simple as that. So yeah, can't really, it's very hard to accidentally break the rules in this tournament. Of course, there will be no there's not going to be any, like, you're not allowed to abuse anything in the game. Like, you can't, oh, what am I thinking? You can't abuse bugs and such. Yeah, but you can manual fire and you can do all that. Sarmation, hello. Happy to see you. Nice. Let's go ahead and look at our first map. So we're going to be playing on Broken Leg Gully. Look at that. The map is set. And then top bracket is picking first, I believe. Yeah, pick one, ban one. Okay. Let's go ahead and message Dactor then. And I'm thinking we'll go ogres and ban Zinch. Oh wait, are we top bracket? Yes, okay. Ogres, ban Zinch. There we go. And this is going to be a pretty interesting thing for this tournament. It's not exactly a domination tournament, so you can see all the rules in the description. But essentially, it's a land battle tournament with capture points. You can think of it that way. We're playing on domination maps to have the capture points. But yeah, essentially that's how it plays out. Now, for the actual factions that I think are going to be very strong today, I think it's definitely going to be Ogres, Kislev, and Zinch. Zinch because he has unbound pendulums, Kislev for their unbound chariots, and Ogre Kingdoms for their unbound, possibly Gorgers and cannons. But since this is sort of a first in the community right now, I think I might be the first to actually host this type of tournament. It's I like to start pretty loose on the rules and then get more intense as time goes on. So for now we're playing it pretty casually though. Nice. And it's gonna be an ogre mirror match. Very interesting. Now let's see. I'll go over the general idea here. I think both of us are gonna go the same thing anyway, so I don't really need to hide my screen. But the general idea is we're both going to be taking Iron Blasters and then possibly Gorgers. Gorgers are great for capturing points. I think I will go for 2 of them. But I don't know if I want my core to be a whole bunch of Gorgers. We might be able to do better than that. Just by, using Saber Tusks possibly, or just spamming Ogre Bulls. We have a few options here. There are no rules. All the rules can be put on like a tiny little square. Yeah, army building limits are enforced by the unit caps, which is basically fruit rules, except with a few holes in it. But yep, it is plain old CA limits. This will be pretty good, since you get to actually see how CA imagined their meta to be. Or maybe not imagined, but how they designed their meta to be. So, yeah, basically, CA, man, my voice is like super raspy today. Yeah, they designed their meta to be as such. Oh, actually, technically, you can get away without a lord in this situation. I guess I should mention that. Or maybe we just go lordless. Is that the strat? Because yeah, in Domination, you need a lord in your army, but you can make any unit your lord. I think it's fine. By the way. No, well actually there's no benefit to really disbanding units. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll see how it plays out. Anyways, let's see what are we actually gonna do. I guess we could go for like a healer like Scrag. Yeah, that could be decent. Alternatively, we can go the hunters and bring some stone horns, possibly, to poke away at units. That would be pretty nice. But the Iron Blasters are my main long-range artillery. I do sort of like the idea of like a double Stonehorn type build. This could go terribly wrong. This could go real terribly wrong, but let's try it out. Maybe like a single Stonehorn is enough. I like it for the terror too. I just have to be very careful that it doesn't get picked off, but I can use its range to my advantage. And then for my lord, I guess we'll probably go for like a basic Slaughter Master. Don't really have to be too crazy over here. I can just take some basic abilities and we'll be fine. I guess the heals is probably all I need. We're gonna keep him nice and budget at only 1,000 gold. That's quite cheap. I would take Scrag, but he's quite a bit slower and prone to getting blasted in the face, so I will avoid that. And then, let's see. So I have the Gorgers to capture points. That's a big plus. But I'm tempted to also just take Noblars, because they can capture points too, if the middle area just becomes a complete no man's land. Let's see. Do the Ogres have anything else that's really good? Like, I guess the Saber Tusks are decent. Alternatively, maybe we just go mass Mournfang Cavalry. Is that the strat? Who knows? But yeah, it's very hard to break the rules in this format. Let's see, because I think the game enforces that you need a lord too. So the one weird thing you can do is you can make any unit your lord. By the way, what, I'll just have that. You can make any unit your lord. But I think the game still enforces one lord. Well, all right. There we go, just some clarifying. But yeah, I'm sort of liking this. This is decent. Is there a minimum model count? I don't think so. I think you could go like super cheesy single entities, but I don't think that's the best strategy anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Now, let's see. I could try to bog them down with sheer weight of numbers. I sort of like that idea. Lead Belchers are okay, but not in this situation because they will get sniped into oblivion. I'm sort of feeling like getting at least one hunter. That seems like a good idea because he can sort of poke away and get some good damage in on any blob fights that we run into. I feel like he's a pretty big help. And then the rest of my army can just be like, you know, a couple Noblars. And we're basically there. Let's see, I could remove another Saber Tusk to spam out more Noblars, but I feel like they don't actually do that much. Like, I guess they tank a little bit, but you know what? Yeah, let's do it. You know, 3 more Noblars instead of 1 Saber Tusk. I think that's worth it. Let's see, you must select some reinforcing units. Oh, okay. Sure, there we go. And then we can ready up. All right. So let's see how this plays out. Now, the Stonehorn is a weird pick. It's a very weird pick, but I do like the fact that it brings in some terror in case we do get rushed down by Dactyr. I think it should trade pretty well into Gorgers too, with the cycle charging. Single entities are generally pretty good against monstrous infantry. But of course, we have to be very worried about those cannons just blasting our faces off. It's probably the biggest threat. And then, yeah, we'll see how the game goes. Now, it might come down to a race. The middle area becomes an absolute no man's land. That would be pretty problematic. We definitely would want, yeah, we definitely don't want that middle area to just fall into the hands of Dactyr, but he'll be covering it with his own cannons too. It's not exactly going to be an easy position to push into. As for the Gorgers, I guess we'll sort of just space them out for now. Maybe 1 unit over here in case my Iron Blaster gets ambushed. And then the usual, just like a million Noblars, I think more or less gets us there. So let them know that we're ready. Whoopsie daisies. And yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Oh man, it's been a bit since I played an Ogre Mirror, but I think this is a pretty... I think Ogres, this is one of the better choices Dactyr could have gone with, which makes me sort of wonder. Do you go for an Ogre Mirror? Or do you go for like, or do you ban Ogres as Ogres? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he's gonna go quad Gorger against me. That would be pretty interesting. It would mean his army is quite small though, so I don't think that fully benefits him, although it would be quite funny. Oh boy. But yeah, how do you guys feel about this format? I think it's quite interesting. The fact that I haven't banned a lot of things means that you will be seeing a lot of the sort of cheesier, much stronger playstyles in the game right now. Especially these Iron Blasters. But I don't think we'll have too many issues. Let's see. I think I will go forward towards the middle with one of my Gorgers. In fact, we're going to bring in a Noblar there. Just because he can sort of waste the ammunition of these Iron Blasters. And then... or capture the point if Dactyr's not actually there to support. So I feel like that's a pretty good strat. We're going to put our Gorgers here. And then we just have to make sure that Dactyr's Iron Blasters can't fire on me. One fun thing, if I go onto this hill, it should be extremely difficult for him to target down this guy. Just because it will be downhill. So cannon shots generally will shoot over you if you're looking upwards onto a hill. So I think that's going to be a pretty nice start to things. Oh, he's already launched a shot at me. Whoopsies. Well, that's a little bit bad that we took a tiny bit of damage there. Not the best thing in the world, but you know, we'll live. All right. And now the battle of attrition begins. We want to make sure that we don't take too many shots from these Iron Blasters. He's going to fire towards me. He's going to dodge immediately. And then, yeah, the goal is just to capture these points. Eventually, we will have to fight for the middle. So, actually going for as much map control as possible is in my plans here. Let's see. Let's take a shot and then try to dodge. Come on. Oh yes, there we go. We did land a couple hits. That's quite nice. And what is this? Yes, Scrag randomly coming towards me. Now that's a bit of a strange thing. I feel like we're about to run into a million Gorgers over here on the flank. And there we go, there they are. And this is an interesting position now because the Gorgers, of course, are a little bit terrifying, but they are in range of my Iron Blasters. And because of that, I think we just trade very well here. we're going to go ahead and just, yeah, fire right into their side. And that's going to be a bad trade for Dactyr. Actually, a really bad trade for Dactyr at the start of the fight. And we have the middle pretty well secured too. So I think as long as we can manage that, we're fine. Oh, my Iron Blast was about to take a big volley. Thankfully, we managed to dodge decently. And over here, I can engage these Gorgers and then start to fire into them. Here we go. And we're just gonna fire over top of these guys. And then, oh, actually, no, I misfire that. Misposition and don't get the shot off with my thing, unfortunately, but I think we're still fine. In fact, main fight's about to go down. I will bring in my Stonehorn. And now we see how this plays out. Now, one of my Iron Blasters is getting engaged on. Oh boy, that's bad. That's real bad. Let's see if we can try and slip that out of there. We have captured the first victory location, which means that the clock is ticking for Dactyr to win the battle. And we have a big fight over here. Now, the big advantage that I have right now is that I do have, I think, the superior ground force in this area right now, as most of the Iron Blasters are all the way, or most of Dactyr's army is all the way over here in the form of Gorgers. And with that, oh crap, he routed off my artillery piece. Where is it right now? Oh geez, it's just routing over there. Man, but we're playing pretty badly in terms of trades, and I think that might be our downfall. I will send in a couple units to deal with Dactyr's artillery pieces here. And then if we can just keep these Gorgers busy for a bit, I think we managed to win this. Of course, it is a little bit sketchy, given that he does have a million Gorgers right in my back. They may very well cause a lot of issues here. But I'm not too worried overall. Let's see, especially with Scrag sort of in this pretty bad position right now, I think we might be able to just blast him and get some kills. And you know what? Let's just rely on that. We're gonna slow him down. We're gonna blast him point blank with our artillery, getting in a lot of damage. And then if we can sort of just hold this position, I think we have a decent chance here. Let's see. I just have to be very careful that my own Iron Blaster doesn't get annihilated. But Scrag is in a very rough place now. We're gonna do another shot on him. Ooh, and it's a complete whiff. That is pretty rough, but we can still make do. And as long as I can keep one of these guys, one of my Iron Blasters, alive and operational, then I think we're fine. Let's see, Scrag is running for his life. We're blocking a few of those Gorgers with my Noblars. And let's see, my Hunter is actually having a pretty rough time, which is surprising. I'm going to see if I can save him here, maybe with a heal. I guess we'll see. Ooh, I do have to be pretty worried about those Gorgers, though. They are really going for me. I could bring in the Stonehorn. There's another unit way over there. We'll see how it plays out. As for now, Scrag does appear to be escaping. We will try to maybe get another shot on him here. Let's see if Dactyr is dodging. It looks like, yeah, he might have. He might have dodged that shot. And I think balance of power is, yeah, really bad for us. We're trading terribly. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're trading really bad. So I'll have to see what I can do. Possibly the winning play is to just go for Scrag here, and then maybe some cycle charging with the Stonehorn. Alternatively, I could play keep away from Dactyr, and then just rely on the rest of my guys to just capture the points and win the fight. And that might be an okay choice here. As we are winning on the capture points. Oh, but Dactyr does have the middle. That makes things very interesting then. Oh boy, that's another Iron Blaster shot. Thankfully, we managed to dodge that. And let's see if we can go ahead and pick off Scrag here. We're gonna turn. Gonna give a big old shot to him. There we go. He's basically down to nothing. And now we have a pretty nice position because the Iron Blaster's on the low ground. It can sort of just pick off these Gorgers freely at this point. And as long as we don't see mass routes all around, I think this could be pretty nice. Dactyr's Iron Blasters are in the distance and sort of very occupied right now. So I don't really have to worry about that. One last shot for Scrag. Come on, fire! There we go, and Scrag is down. So here we go. We have a stone horn, we have a single iron blaster, and it is in good position. But what do we do from here? Because ammunition is going to play a big part. We've both lost our lord, and that doesn't really matter for Dactyr nearly as much, because he does have quite a few unbreakable units. And if the stone horn goes down, then we are in a very bad place. If we also lose this iron blaster, things are very bad for us too. So I have to be very wary that I'm dodging with this thing as much as possible. Stonehorn does route too, and I think Dactyr's won this unless my Iron Blaster manages to carry, but it takes another huge hit, and I think Dactyr's won it. Oh, GG. GG. I think in the end, what's it? That center battle, it could have gone a lot better for me. I think there was definitely some mismicroing there, but definitely still a very fun game. Lots of back and forth. Let's see, how much value did we get? Yeah, the second Iron Blaster getting killed early was really bad for me. I definitely could have done better there. His Gorgeous did great too. I think, I don't know if that was just because of Scrag or what. But definitely, I feel like I didn't micro a lot of my forces properly. But such is the way of things. Dactyr's gonna go for Tzeentch, and he's gonna ban Tzeentch. Let's see, what map are we on? Death Pass, alright. There we go. And you know what? Let's go for... Slanesh is a death sentence, that's for sure. Khorne is a decent rush, but... Kislev is sort of the obvious choice here. Let's go Kislev. I think Kislev generally does pretty well against Tzeentch, so let's see how it plays out. Alright. But how do we actually want to play this out? Let's see, we'll bring up the army blocker too, since this is important information. Generally, I don't think there's a ton of ways to play Kislev. You can sort of... there aren't too many fashions. It's like, what, Chariot style? Maybe single entity style? Maybe, yeah, that's basically it. Or I guess, mass ranged infantry do all right, too. Yeah, that's basically it. For Dactyr, I think he can go for a rush, which would do, decently, nothing too crazy. He could also go for potentially... I don't know. I don't know how this matchup actually plays out in land battle. It's not one that I've played a lot. I do think mass range on Kislev is almost a no-brainer, but other than that, I'm not too sure. Can you move your camera slightly for next game so we can see damage value for each player? Oh, yes. Yeah, darn it. Man, I always put my camera in the wrong position. Maybe I should permanently have it on the top right-hand side. Yeah, because the damage values were definitely showing Dactyr had a good lead at the start there. That one cannon getting lost was just brutal. Alright, let's see. Is cavalry great against Tzeentch? I think my cavalry loses against most of his, but otherwise it's not too terrible. Oh, I need a lord. I forgot about that. Let's see, what are your guys' thoughts on lords for good old Kislev? I guess a healer is probably the best idea, isn't it? Yeah, I got you, Warp Out. Or, yeah, Warp Out, I gotcha. Yeah, we could do this. I think if you want a tanky lord, Kassultan's great. Alternatively, we could go Boris with the Patriarch, which could be quite nice too. I think it's just a few things you could do. Ooh, actually, I could do a few shenanigans, can't I? I can do some of this. Yeah, alright. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit of shenaniganry. If we lose, we lose. It's fine. But I think this is pretty fun. I have 2,000 gold left to spend. And I guess I could do some of this. That's decent. And then 400 gold left. What an inconvenient number of gold for Kislev. Let's see, what do you do with, how about 850 gold? Can I do anything there? Oh yeah, I can. Alright, you know what? I think this is good enough. What am I really worried about here? Not too much, really. Yeah, let's try this out. So the big thing that makes Kislev great against Tzeentch is that they can sort of soft counter Tzeentch's sort of spell spam type shenanigans. So I will be sort of doing that a little bit, at least as much as I can. Just with a few skirmishers really will do it. And then that way there's really no huge Lord Snipe potential that could happen. The alternative is Tzeentch could do, you know, possibly a crazy big old rush. That could be quite scary. But I'm not especially worried about that either. So I think we should be fine. Also, something very important to note, capture points are not very important in this rule set. Since most of the time battles without reinforcements will end well before you capture the point. Yeah, you can sort of just ignore it. You can sort of just ignore it unless your opponent's like really cheesing you and choosing not to engage. Which I think eventually will be the meta, but like at some point you have to move in if your opponent goes for the middle area. So here we go. Let's see how this plays out. I'm pretty sure we have a nice advantage here. But what do you guys think? I know we don't have too many people here today, so chat might not be super busy, but I'm sort of having a good time. Especially if we don't have to face too many mirrors. If you're just gonna pick a faction and ban the mirror, then we will get at least some variety. But if I do win this, I will have to win the next battle too, so I think the odds of us advancing here may be slim. We'll see though. I have a pretty fun build here today. We got the Warbear Riders comboed with Castalton. Great combo, as he can heal them up and they won't lose too many models. And then it's just a nasty little gun line over here. Let's see, there's no way to see his... You can see how many units he has, but not his actual army size. Slightly different from land battles, but interesting. And yeah, I've just gone for the quad war wagon here. They're going to be quite nice for just playing aggressively, really. They'll be able to just move forward, skirmish with any big bird flyers that come, and then we're good. And capture points aren't worthless. The reason that we have it is because... The reason that we have the capture points... Oh man, I should rebind that hotkey. Is because they stop people from cheesing. Yeah, so specifically like attacking rules, people would just corner camp all the time if it wasn't for these capture points. And because of that, you see like a million rules for multiplayer. So this generally works out much better. And I guess we just move up with our chariots and try to get some damage in. Let's see, I'd love to kill some chaos spawn too with Little Grom. We're going to fire off a shot to try and pick off a few guys and then use our chariots to sort of poke away. Now he does have a soul grinder. We will have to be a bit wary of that. But, you know, I'll just go for the middle map control. I think that should be fine. Okay, and how is the chariot doing? Lil Grom. It looks like we missed our first shot against those chaos spawns, sadly, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. And I'll just start poking away at these here spawn of Tzeentch. They should take a decent amount of damage. I should have focused this one that got hit by the artillery, though. That definitely would have done much better, but, you know, it's fine. Dactyr completely missing a pendulum. Very nice for us, as that would have been quite devastating, actually, had it landed. And I guess we can just sort of pull back and poke away at Kairos a bit. He does have this high ground location to defend him, though, which does make life a little bit harder, sadly. But still, you know, it's not terrible. I'm going to use one of my heals on this war wagon, since Dactyr, he is poking away at that chariot. And then we'll just use these ones to kill off his blue horrors, I guess. This is sort of the thing that I'm least worried about. And then we'll fire a cannon shot to maybe pick off a few more spawn. Cool. Now we will have to wait and sort of worry about possible pendulum shenanigans. So it's my job to sort of dance back and forth with my infantry as much as possible. And as long as we dodge that, I think we're fine. The war of attrition generally seems to be going in my way, in my favor too, since generally our skirmishers are just getting in a lot more damage, you know, especially with this artillery piece that I have here. So I'm not too worried. Let's go ahead and spread out a little bit. I can see Dactyr's going for the far flank, which is a little bit scary. But his blue horrors have taken just insane amounts of damage already. I'm not too worried about that. Lil Grom has killed off basically half a unit of Chaos Spawn. That's quite good for me, actually. Looks like the chariots are doing fine. Let's go ahead and split up my guys a little bit. I sense a pendulum, so we're just going to dance around a little bit more. And then how my chariots doing? They're doing fine. His flank hasn't really done too much. I think right now we're doing pretty good for ourselves. Let's go ahead and start firing. And then there we go. There's one pendulum, but not the end of the world, really. Essentially, he just pendulumed. He got like 200 gold off of that pendulum. So not really the biggest win in the world ever. Lil Grom's been poking away a lot more than any of these pendulums, so yeah, I'm not worried about that at all, really. We have center map control, our skirmishers are doing great. Yeah, this is very good for us, I'd say. Alright, but first things first, let's pull in all of our chariots. Gonna give them another big heal. We accidentally missed one though. Tiny bit of a misplay, but you know, it's fine. And over here, I guess our cannon's just gonna continue poking away. We have a new set of Chaos Spawn here to pick apart. But that shouldn't be too hard. They will go down rather quickly. By the looks of it, yeah, Little Grom is doing amazingly for us. Another pretty nice pendulum. He targets our Kossars. Maybe gets 300 gold value, but nothing too bad. Yeah, finally we get to see, what's it? The big chicken, you know? He's getting a little bit of love, which is good for him, you know? Alright. Now, our trading's going great. We're trading almost 2-for-1 against Dacta right now. His Chaos Spawn are all but gone. And we still have basically all of our chariots. The Soul Grinder used essentially all of its ammunition to try and deal with them. And that's going to be hurting him quite a bit. Let's see, he might try to net down some of my guys, but that's sort of fine. And yeah, we can just move up with our infantry now. Poke away at Kairos a little bit, and then use Kastaltin to play a little bit more aggressively. Dacta is actually pretty insanely spread out right now, which means we can go really on the offensive here. Like, I think, yeah, he has a unit of blue horrors all the way in the distance. We have tons of crossfire. And we can just essentially just charge into whichever fights please us, I think. Yeah, all these Chaos Spawn are way too far away. So I think this is a really good position for us. Kastaltin should be able to win against those Soul Grinders. And then I got a whole ton of Streltsy in the back ready to cause a little bit of pain. See, what is this? Our unit of War Wagons? Nice. Just leave that here to poke away. Chariots are doing great. And Kastaltin has a big heal for them too. As for the Warbear Riders, they're essentially just they're just screening for my forces here, ready to fight Chaos Spawn as they come in. But I don't think he can really do much to push past this chariot blob. He can more or less just sit there and do well. My main focus right now, though, is going to be, I guess, just my... Actually, yeah, basically just my Streltsy. We just want to make sure that we're picking good targets, and we're basically good to go. Little Grom doesn't have too much to fire at, but this blob looks quite juicy, so I will go for that. Let's see if we can dodge this pendulum, too. Oh, it gets cancelled. Okay, good call by Dacta. That actually would have landed. Done quite a bit of damage there. But I think we've more or less won this. Balance of power is really good for us. We've traded amazingly. All the chariots are just sticking in combat basically forever. And yeah, with my lines of fire, I think the blue horrors are all going down. The war bears are doing great. And Big Bird is not a big enough single entity to really be too much of a threat here. In fact, I think we can send in Little Grom to get some damage in right now. Why don't we? Just start cycle charging through these forces. And how's Kastaltin doing? Pretty good, yeah. He's a very tanky fellow. I don't think he'll be going down anytime soon. Nice, this right flank holding is great too. It means that all these range units can refocus onto the center here. And that should be fine. Let's see. How about this unit of chariots though? I guess we can send them in just for their ranged firepower, but they're not gonna do anything too crazy. I don't think they'll be working miracles by any means. How are these Kossars doing? They'll be focusing down the Soul Grinder. And it looks like Kairos, he's busy fighting my Streltsy. So although that means that the Streltsy are shut down, I think we've won it. Yeah, balance of power is great. We even have more capture weight than him, so we're not in any risk of losing in that way. And look at that. We got a decent dodge against the pendulum. It still did a lot of damage, though. But Kislev is very resistant to these sort of high damage spells. They're not worried about that in the slightest. Oh, man. So now we're going into the ace match. Now, here's the thing. I get to play Tzeentch, and I can ban Kislev. That's pretty interesting, because Ogre Kingdoms is out, and he can't play Tzeentch in the mirror. I think that might be my saving grace here. We'll see how that goes. I just noticed I forgot to bring magic. Oh my gosh. But it just really shows, though, that I think Kislev just has an amazing matchup here. Kislev will happily grind up against Tzeentch for quite some time. Yeah, they're not worried about Tzeentch's shenanigans in the slightest. Just so much firepower. Oh, there's another big pendulum. Thankfully, it's not hitting my Streltsy, so that's sort of fine with me. You know, if it just hits a few Kossars, not a problem. And we still have a bit of ammo on Little Grom. Now, optimally, this would be shooting at the Soul Grinder. If I can get it into position, that would be great. But I don't think it's gonna do it for me. We'll see. Come on, Chariot, get over there. Let's see. I could also pick apart. I could try to just walk directly up to the Soul Grinder and just shooting it in the face. That could be pretty good. You know what? Let's try it right now. And the shot lands. Pretty good. Pretty good for Little Grom. I'm wondering how much damage value it got. I'm thinking pretty nice. You know, this battle is actually a bit closer than I would have hoped for. I guess most of the value is in Kairos, so it's not nearly as close as you might think. But Dactyr definitely scrapped back this fight pretty well for himself here. Still though, with the cannon doing so well, we can even manual fire to finish off that Soul Grinder. There we go. And then if Consultant loses to Kairos, we'll never forgive him. Yeah, this Consultant should not lose to Kairos, but you never know. You never know. RNG could always go really badly for us. You know, Lil Grom only has so much ammunition left, so who knows? Who knows? You do have the infantry advantage there, though. I do have like a tiny pocket of Streltsy. They'll be able to do just fine. And then let's see. Oh, he might go for some cycle charge shenanigans with Kairos. That would be something. Yeah, there we go. He's going for it. So here's the thing, though. We still have the capture point advantage, and at some point he can't capture any more points. So we sort of just get into a situation where it's impossible to lose, just because Kairos can't cap. Of course, there could be some extra units lying around for Dactyr, but you can see over here, he's at 2 out of 14, so that means that there definitely aren't any more units. So we can sort of just carry out the rest of the fight here and we'll win it. I can just capture the points and we'll be good. Let's actually get this cannon into combat, though, real quick. Let's see. Man, Little Grom is so slow compared to the Iron Blaster, but at least it still does all right. It does decently enough. I don't like how hard it is to actually send it into combat, though. If I turn this on, will it go? Yeah, it will. Very good. Yeah, it was nice seeing the grinder get some love, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to deal with the might of Kislev. I think definitely Tzeentch, Kislev, and Ogres, though. They're the top factions here. For sure, for sure. Alright. So what next? Yeah, I guess Tzeentch ban Kislev and then we're good. Kairos shouldn't really be able to do much. Now, there is a weird situation where if the game is super close because there's no army losses, you can just lose off of victory tickets, which would be pretty janky. But I'm not too worried about that scenario. Hopefully it's a fairly rare one. The crazy thing is, if this wasn't Kairos and it was like an Exalted Lord of Change, we'd be in a pretty bad situation too. Because like, he'd actually be able to kill quite a bit. But in this case, we're sort of fine. In fact, even Consultant looks like he's chasing him down rather easily too. And he'll get less shields as time goes on. Just because your max shields is impacted by how much damage you've taken. So sweet. I wonder how the other games are going. this battle's won. I don't know why Dactor hasn't left yet, but it looks like a Haku Gamer has won one of his fights. So he's defeated WWD. Interesting. Let me see. Yeah, this is the bracket right now. But everyone else is sort of still grinding it out. Probably just, you know, getting a feel for the game mode. Most likely. And look at this, Dactor. He refuses to leave. I don't know what plans he has. But he can't capture anything. I guess he's just trolling. I guess maybe that's it. Like he just wants to stall it out a bit, but you know, it's fine. We're not that far behind in the bracket, so there isn't really a big issue there. This does bring up an interesting thing though. Like if you just have a bunch of cavalry in the late game and you've sort of won the initial fight, you can really just capture all 3 points to win. This game mode sort of relies on you. Like you do really need to have a little bit of mobility left if you do want to get a victory. There we go. Oh, look at that. Big shot on Castalton. Gonna poke him down a little bit. I wonder if Castalton wins here. I'm pretty sure he has a decent shot just because of his unbreakable. What, he has frenzy too? Oh, but it's disabled. Nevertheless, like Kairos' shields, you see, they do go down pretty quick. And although he has a decent charge bonus, pretty sure Castalton wins. Do we have any non-believers here? Any non-Castalton fans? Maybe he wants some magic missiles. Like, yes, but he actually cannot win right now. We have, Kairos can't cap. So, there's nothing he can really do. Oh, man. It's interesting, because mobility is good, but you do want to have units that capture. I think like eventually the meta in this sort of mode will be completely different from how things. It will be different from just a normal land battle with proper rules. So I don't really know. I don't know how that actually plays out exactly. But here's the interesting thing: he can cycle charge me, but it just takes so long to cycle charge. Like despite all the damage he does, he could probably take out Castalton, but even if he did have a few units, I don't think he'd be able to kill Castalton and then capture points. Like if he was waiting in the forest with a few units, I don't think that would really go well for him. Let's see. Double Birdman wins. Ooh, man, that's quite the bet. Ooh, I think with the spell he kills Castalton though. Look at that, his leadership fox. That's pretty nice. But will anything else happen? I think not. Oh, man. Thankfully, we do have all 3 points now, so things should wrap up in like a couple minutes and we'll be good. I wonder, okay, so if we're playing as Tzeentch and we go for like a single unit of knights, we could really abuse that shield mechanic. We just have to make sure we don't get shot to death. So Cathay's probably a bad idea, and yeah, looks like you're right. Morton, you are correct. He did defeat Castalton. Look at that. The guy's running for the hills. Man, Kairos with his 55 melee attack on the charge. He did it. What a Chad. Alright, there we go. Dactor gives a GG. I think at some point I might... Yeah, trolling without chat. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, you know, it's fine. I might add like an extra rule at some point which says if you have very clearly won and your opponent is just wasting time, you can leave the game. And then you can submit the replay if you have to. Because then that would just save a lot of time. Alright, well, here we go. What map are we on? We are in I in the north. There we go. Pretty wide map with a big wall in the middle. Yep, Tzeentch, Ban, Kislev. Here we go. Yep. It's a rough one. Now let's see what he actually brings. You know, he could do like, definitely not Nurgle. He can't go Ogre Kingdoms. I think Khorne is his best bet. He has to win it with Khorne. Because like, all the other factions are going to get cheesed into oblivion. Unless you think like Cathay's cannons are going to win it out. But I'm a bit more skeptical on that front. All right, here we go. So he's going for corn. And you know what? I got some pretty nice builds here that I can run. Yeah, let's see. Do we win the air game? Because if I win the air game, things get real dicey for him. Life gets a whole lot easier if we can do that. Let's see. I don't know. I think I definitely want this ability. That's quite good. Yeah, I'm seeing some people in, or one person in chat talking about CA giving chat to people. I think chat's pretty nice. Like, that'd be a great feature to have. But I don't think it's a must-have. I think we can live without chat. I feel like they should have chat in custom lobbies, though. That's the weird thing. The fact that you can't do that. Oh, he might go Slanesh. That would be the most mad play I've ever seen. If he goes for Slanesh, I don't even know what he can do. I think he just gets wrecked. But yeah, I think he should go Cathay. What would Cathay do? Would it be what? Like you go some cannons and then you secure the points with your artillery? Like maybe that's the pro strat. I don't know. He could go Nurgle, guys. Come on, the big Papa Nurgle. Win all them single entity fights like it's no problem. Dang, he's going Slanesh. What a mad lad. All right. All right. Mad lad goes Slanesh. Okay, now Tzeentch. Tzeentch is typically favored against Slanesh, but we'll see what Dactyr actually has in plan. Yes, Slanesh cometh. What an interesting pick. He must have a good amount of shenanigans if he's going to be doing this. Yeah. He's got to have something crazy in mind, right? One does not simply just go Slanesh and hope to win. That is a pretty sketchy play if I've ever seen one. Let's see. I guess we'll go for... Yep, I want some of this action. Cathay's decent versus Tzeentch? Really? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that, Loopy. Because I think Cathay is still pretty garbage. Like, I think Cathay is pretty bad into ogres too. They'd have to go very heavy on the ranged maybe and play it like Kislev, but they don't have the skirmish power. Which I feel like that's what gives them the most issues. Maybe that's just me though. Now here's the interesting thing. As Slanesh, he does have the ability to avoid me for the entire game. I do concede that. His mobility is going to be great, but he also has no healing. And I think that's already a pretty rough position. Yeah, he's going to have no healing. What's this guy planning? The madman. The absolute madman. Oh, man. If he wins this, though, I will be amazed. I'll love it if he manages to win this, but I'm definitely skeptical. You show me some replays? All right. All right, Loopy. I'd be interested to see it. I'd be very interested to see it, really. All right, so we can do some of this action. Let's see. What else can we do? Oh, I can go all the way here. That's pretty good. Let's see. I think infantry we're not worried about. Mass cavalry we're not worried about. Am I worried about a single thing in this game? A single unit. Is anything gonna give me trouble here? I feel like that's a no. I feel like a big no on that front. But who knows? Who knows? You know, he might have something crazy in store. Right? Maybe, I have no idea, but I'm ready for it. Let's see. Let's see what he has in mind. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and take off this here image. I'm expecting either, I think, a rush or like a mass avoidance playstyle. Throw it for the clickbait. Slanesh wins versus Tzeentch pro player gone wrong. Amazing. That'd be pretty good. Loopy's already, he sent me the replays. I'll check that out later. What, like, do you go Iron Hail Gunners? How do you not get overrun by, like, I guess if you go for the mass ranged, maybe, if you're doing that against Tzeentch. All right. Oh, apparently it beat Void Lulls. Dang. Okay, if it beats Void Lulls, I guess I shouldn't be talking. That's pretty impressive. Anyways, here's my army. As you can see, we are quite resistant to getting flanked here. 3,000 Marauders. I welcome it. I welcome the Marauder March. Anyways, we have an insane Air Force here. Followed by, just, tons of Forsaken. And then a single blue horror just for good measure. It's nothing special here, guys. Okay. Yeah, Doctor, he's thinking back on his choices earlier in the match. Yeah, if he had thrown the Ogre games, that one would have been interesting, because then he would have advantage in the second go. And then he could have some pretty good pick ban advantages from that. I'd be happy to play some Slaanesh today. If we manage to find a good enough matchup, maybe. I have to worry about them Ogres, though. Alright, so it's a big ol' it's a million cavalry. This is fine for me. So essentially all we gotta do, right? We box up on this front, we put the blue horrors in here, and then we put one chaos spawn to body block, another chaos spawn to body block, and then we're like this. And then all we have to do is make sure that we don't get routed off the map, because those Forsaken, they definitely will, if you're not careful. We don't have a net, unfortunately, too. So Doctor will be able to sort of just mostly just ignore me. We'll see how much poking damage I can get done with these flyers, though. But I'm pretty sure we just win this poke fest, right? Oh, it's a pretty good dodge. Pretty good dodge to start off the day. Let's go ahead and send in the Furies. A nice initial pick over there. And he's going to be summoning some Furies of his own. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing. He did get the rear charge. So my Furies, they might have a bad matchup here. I guess we'll see. This box over here shouldn't need to worry about too much, but Doctor, he will be able to capture all the points if we're not careful. What I need to do is, I just need to kill off all of his Furies, and then we're good to go. We can just sort of sit here, nice and comfortable like, and then we're basically fine from there. Let's see, how are my Furies doing though? The leadership is tanking, but I think my horrors win. So we do end up trading well there. And then I just have to worry about capping the points in time. Looks like my guys did heal up, which is very important for me. And I just have to keep an eye on these guys to make sure that they don't land is all. But his Furies are crumbling. There's no way he's actually going to kill off my horrors. So, or not my horrors. Yeah, my horrors. So, yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. And these are just the generic Chaos Furies and not Furies of Slaanesh. So, they're going to time out. Which means now begins the Lord Snipe potential. Looks like he went for a Pendulum on my Forsaken. Thankfully, they do have 50% magic resist. So basically indestructible to all forms of penduluming. And at some point, I want to actually start moving out so that we capture points, because time is of the essence on that front. As for his Lord, we're just going to poke him away. Poke him down with our sick spells here. And then we'll push out from there. This is a very cheesy game, though, isn't it? Alright, where are my horrors at? There they are. Let's see, if I fire off a shot here, does that hit? I don't think it does. Man, that Lord is a speedy one, though. So, I think we just have to, we can play really aggressively here. Because I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about his thing in the slightest. Oh, I see. He's just chilling behind the pillar. I get it. Yeah, these guys, they're glitching up this pillar over here. Okay, well, that's pretty hilarious. Alright. That's some good dancing from Doctor. I should be able to get a pretty nice shot here, though, with my Lord. And then, yeah, we can start moving on to capture these points. Sweet. And there we go, his Lord takes a nasty hit to the face. Looks like this guy is going to be fighting the Furies. He takes a little bit of damage, but yeah, we're definitely winning that fight. Very nice. Can we capture the first point? He gets a decent Pendulum, but it's not nearly as scary against Tzeentch as you would expect. And his Lord is going down. Dang, look at that. That's a rough one. I think one more shot at him will finish him off. And then it should just be most of his forces will just be routing off from there. Alright, so now all I gotta do is capture the points and then we're good. In fact, I don't even think I'm in a rush because the middle point, since he does have mostly cavalry, I think the middle point would take a while to actually capture and hold. Yeah, everyone's on the verge of routing here for poor Slaanesh. Yeah, this is just a rough matchup. Now I do have to be careful not to get picked apart here, as he does have a lot of mobility. But I don't really need a lot of units on the points to hold them down. That's my main advantage here. And I can block up these choke points to make sure he doesn't get that big, insane extra charge bonus that Slaanesh cavalry want. And at this point, my blue horrors, or my normal horrors, whatever they're called, they can just sort of, you know, fire from above and get tons of damage. And yeah, as long as we block all of those rear charges, I'm happy. You know what, let's get a big old missile on these guys, just to finish them off a bit faster. We'll get another shot down over here. And I'm going to focus on winning this flank, sort of as my main, to get an advantage here, because these Forsaken are already pretty low. I don't want them to start dying off. So I'd love to actually, you know, I'd love to kill these guys before my Forsaken start routing off. But actually, no, the fighting goes sort of badly here. Look at that. Yeah, the fighting sort of went pretty badly. All my guys just got completely surrounded. Now that's an interesting point. Because I did move a lot of my guys to the center capture point, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna win it if he's going to capture 2 points ahead of me. A little bit sketchy. Thankfully, the blue horrors, they are still quite mighty. They'll be able to poke away for basically the entire battle, and anything that I chase off should have a pretty rough time. Not to mention this ground force over here. I think they should do all right. Still though, a little bit sketchy. Like if I had to take this ground fight, you know, a little bit later, like this could have gone pretty badly if his lord were still alive. Because yeah, he's gonna capture this point now, and it's not super easy to get to the other point now. That's a little bit sketchy, isn't it? Let's go ahead and continue poking away though. We do have like just an infinite number of spells, and that should wear down his cavalry quite thin, to the point where I think we can just kill everything. The big problem though is that he will be able to just straight up if he kills all my ground forces, I can't capture points anymore, and then he just wins. So I do have to be careful on that front. I think sending my lords into melee though is a good idea, since he can't easily kill them off. So I can sort of just yeah, I can just use them to fight and chase things off. Because like if he goes for a big surround, I'm sort of fine. All right, I think another big missile spell over here should do me well. And then we have the Chaos Spawn in my infantry. They're actually holding this point too. So yeah, without infantry, he just doesn't have enough capture weight to do his Slaanesh shenanigans. I think we did it. Although pretty sketchy towards the end. Yeah, Tzeentch's ability to just snipe out all Slaanesh lords makes life impossible. Pretty good. Nice. Alright, well there we go. Oof. Now, the reason I took the Metal Caster is because I was expecting like double Soul Grinder. That can actually be pretty good against Tzeentch and his sniping. But yeah. Alright, there we go. Dactor's out. And we are moving up to fight AC Moore. Interesting. Alright. Very good, very good. And let's go ahead and message him. Let's get Dactor out of here and see what Moore has to bring to the table. Possibly some ogres, who knows? Let's see, find tournament opponent. Moore. We are up. All right. Now, how do you guys think about this? You think Moore's gonna give a tough fight, or you think we're gonna be able to do it? I'm not sure. He can be pretty scary. Let me send him the lobby code, and I think who's picking first? He's picking first. All right, and the map is gonna be Death Pass. Now, unfortunately, we don't have too much map variety here, but I think they're actually pretty competitive. It doesn't feel too tight. So it's not too bad. Yeah, I don't care about Pendulum in the slightest. Tzeentch, yeah. Tzeentch doesn't care about Pendulum. It's hilarious. Yep. Anyways, let's take a look at what Mora's got over here. We have, whoops, did I close chat? Where did my chat window go? There we go. Yeah, so over here we have AC Moore playing up against us, round number 1. Who do you think he's gonna pick? I have no idea. He could go Ogres, but if he goes Ogres, ban Ogres, we can just counter with Tzeentch. So I think if we do see an Ogre pick, we go for the Mirror or possibly Cathay. But I think the cannons are just a bit too scary. Oh, and it might be a Khorne pick. That one's interesting. We could go for Kislev, but then that leaves the Tzeentch pick. Although we can counter that with Ogres or a Tzeentch Mirror. Like, I think Tzeentch is sort of the most counterable out of the 3. Kislev really only fears Ogre Kingdoms, I think. Yeah, Kislev really only fears Ogre Kingdoms. So, if he goes for... yeah, I think Tzeentch is our first counter pick that we want to be running. Should be good. And what does he go for? He goes for Khorne. Oh, he already typed in his thing. He said Khorne ban Ogres. Whoopsie daisies. Yeah, I guess I entered the chat right as he typed it out. All right. So Khorne ban Ogres. We could go Tzeentch. Tzeentch has a decent-ish fight here. It means that against Ogres, we don't really have anything. Tzeentch is basically our only thing there. Alternatively, we just go like Slaanesh against Khorne. It's not terrible. You know what? That's not terrible. I'll go Slaanesh. Yeah, let's do it. Let's play some Slaanesh. All right. This could be quite fun. Let's see. How do you guys feel about this matchup? Now, there is Pendulum, and I think that basically that's Slaanesh's biggest win here. The fact that you can really just annihilate Khorne's elite infantry. But you do have to get them into melee first, which is sort of the big problem. Let's see, what else could we do? I guess, this is a decent one. Yeah, I can take this ability. But, like, what's the core army here? How do I properly defeat Khorne? Of course, Khorne wins on the mobility front. In many ways. I think Khorne has superior Furies plus Flyers. Some cycle charging action could be pretty scary too. He could also shoot me with the skull cannons. That would be quite scary. But on my side, one big plus is that I don't really have to worry about winning too many mobility fights if I really go ham there. And what else? Man, Dactor's just going off in chat. Come on, man. You can chill out. I think we get that. I think we get your point. All right. How do you guys feel about elite infantry here? You know, this is one of the only matchups where Slaanesh infantry doesn't suffer as much from sort of just taking a head-on fight. They don't have to worry about any spells, so that could be quite good. Let's see. Yeah, that could be decent. What else do we have? I guess, I don't know, spawn of Slaanesh. I think they're bugged right now. They don't actually have an ability that the game says they should. Very unfortunate for them, but not the end of the world. See, I could go for some single entities of my own. Go very hard on the single entity front. I guess if we don't have to worry about infantry, it really is just the single entities of Khorne that I have to really pay attention to. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the strat. I feel like, yeah, I feel like my army's not perfect, but it sort of gets there. Yeah, let's try it out. Yeah, the big problem is that, well, I could try out some hammer and anvil action. I feel like that might be a bit of a smarter play. Take a little bit of infantry. Let's see, what infantry can I take? You know, just basic marauders. Like, that's not the end of the world, right? Yeah, let's try this. Exalted Demonettes are decent, but careful versus corn dogs and spawn. Do they die to Furies too? I feel like they do. Like, I feel like just a Fury charge on top of them could get them to half HP pretty easily. Yeah. So, obviously, the main thing that you have to worry about as a base is... Oh, maybe update the bracket pick. What do you mean by update the bracket pick? As in just like update the scores or the actual pick system? Because I can't update the pick system now, but I can update the picture. Ah, I see. Picture. Yeah, it's updated. Yeah, we got more moving on up. We got Carl Harmon and Haku Gamer also moving on up. It's interesting. Okay. Here we go. We're on Death Pass. Now this map is it's fairly open. I think Slanesh does like this map. If he goes like hard on the middle point, it could be a little bit annoying. We'll see. Yeah, Corn Furies are really scary because they can land on anything and just trade well. For me, you'll see in a second, I have not actually brought much of an air game, which could be my doomfall or my downfall. But instead, I've gone for a very elite cavalry force. And I'm hoping that they just win it. Simple as that. Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy because the Furies can land on my Seekers and trade pretty well. But on the other hand, I also have, you know, just a larger army. You know, I can afford a few extra Marauders to Anvil for the Pendulums. And I'm just hoping that that does enough for me. Honestly, I haven't played this matchup enough to really have a good idea on whether or not Furies are a must-have or not. But who knows? You know, if I just have like more cavalry than he brings Furies, they can just surround them anytime they land. And they shouldn't be too much of a problem if that happens. He's bought a fairly sizable army too, which does make me feel like he went a lot of dogs and Furies possibly. If he went for a pure mobility force, I think we are in the lead. Just because of these two single entities. Yeah, they should be able to trade quite well. Not to mention the Marauders to also body block for my cavalry. So I'm sort of thinking that saves me quite well. What else? What else could there be? I guess we'll see in a second as we load on in. It's a fairly large army. Lots of Furies as expected. Good number of Flesh Hounds too. Couple units of Spawn of Corn, very interesting. And not a lot on the single entity front. Just a Herald of Corn and 2 Lil Cultists. They're all mounted, which is actually good for my Exalted Keeper. And yeah, we can just just move on up here and hold the middle area. Center map control, always quite nice. And if we have to, we'll go for a mobility win. I don't think he can easily hold 2 points, but as long as those Furies are alive, he probably can. And I think that might be a bit of an issue. You know what, let's try a bit of shenaniganry, why don't we? You know, I don't think we need all of our Marauders here. And I can instead just, you know, capture this point, right? We have the mobility advantage despite the Furies, just because our mobility is a bit stronger. And we can sort of just not fight them. I like the box formations against the Pendulum too. That actually does block Pendulums quite nicely. But yeah, the plan is basically we'll just ignore them if we have to. Like, I can bring in my Cultists over here onto this side if I really want to. In fact, I could push a little bit aggressively here, but that's starting to get a tiny bit risky. Yeah, we'll wait it out. These Marauders can hold over here. I have my cavalry to support in case the dogs go down. And as long as I have sort of 2 units of cavalry in each location, I shouldn't get, you know, killed off by these Furies. Here we go, and we're gonna try and pick off some of these dogs here. I could also just just summon my demon nuts right now. That would be quite fun. But yeah, I think we've secured this side. And we can sort of just capture the points, you know? If we want to play very slow and static, we could get a victory through this. Oh, it looks like he is going for this engagement, though. That's interesting. The double cultist moving in does make things a little bit scarier, because they can just summon right on top of me. He is going to land his Furies, too. That's an interesting choice. And we do have some fighting going on. Okay. So Spawner moving in over there. My cavalry's getting blocked up by his mobility. The Furies managed to take back into the air, and sort of this jockeying for position. It is going a little bit sketchy, isn't it? I wish I had my Soul Grinder nearby, but I guess this will have to do. For now, let's sacrifice a few units of cavalry to kill off these corn dogs. That should give my Exalted Keeper a bit of a better fight here. And then I need to be doing something with this. I gotta be doing something with my my big ol' demon over here, my Soul Grinder. That's gonna be quite important. Looks like my Lord is doing well though, at the very least. And we can get a sneaky pendulum over there on all of his units. I think that should go quite well. Let's see, how is my Lord doing though? Decently, but not amazingly. In fact, yeah, that last hit got a lot of damage there. We're gonna pull out of this situation and slip in a little bit more cavalry. The Furies have sort of committed, so yeah, we're really diving into this fight now. Here we go. Now here's the thing: it's my mobility against his, and I think we win this fight, because you know we can cycle charge with the Keeper of Secrets. Right, the dogs are going down, and we have more cavalry in here to support. So we can just, yeah, we can go hard on this fight, and I think we're good. Ooh, that was a good knockdown on my cultist though. That cancels my summon, and he might kill my Lord too. I have to be very careful about that. Some Chaos Spawner coming in too. Yeah, nah, this is real scary. This is very scary. Summons in some Bloodletters. They could do a bit of damage in there. But how are my cultists doing? You know, I still have my Soul Grinder, and I think it could probably just snipe out his Herald. Yeah, I will go for that. While my heroes just focus on this fight. And then we'll just go for the big old Herald snipe. I don't think those demon nuts are going to get too much damage in, thankfully. Alright. Oh man, we got a nice charge on his Herald, but he got a pretty good charge with his cultist. Balance of power is almost dead even. That's pretty crazy. But units are routing off the map now, which means that my Keeper of Secrets should be regenerating. Herald actually starting to rout, but I fail a charge over there with my cavalry. That's really bad. Thankfully, they won't be routing off the map, but yeah, that's a really rough loss for me. They definitely could have done a lot more damage there. But the big plus for me is that he just doesn't have the mobility. You know, these guys in the back here, trying to get in the fight, they likely won't really be able to get here in time to really support. And as long as I can keep my Keeper of Secrets alive, I'm good. Of course, it is a little bit sketchy because he does have a cultist over here and a bunch of Furies. So, yeah, we're just going to be evacuating as fast as we can. In fact, I think my Keeper of Secrets does end up dying here, which is going to be a painful loss. I will admit, this does hurt a tiny bit. We're going to give them one last pendulum for the road, though. Hopefully killing off those doggos. And then maybe we can just win on the mobility game. Yeah, that might be a good strat. Let's see, how's my Soul Grinder doing? It's doing decently. I do like that we have so many capture points though, and that all of his mobility is gone. If there's gonna be one thing that saves me here, it's gonna be that. Let's go ahead and grab my infantry, and they're gonna move into support. And then we have lost our Soul Grinder, sadly. But he doesn't have any more dogs. Just 13 left. Oh man, my Lord. Oh, my Lord is down though. Okay, and now we've run into a bit of a problem, right? Here's the thing. I've lost everything now, and I have 3 Marauders. The only way we win now is via capture points. Oh no, that's not good. That's really bad. Yeah, that fight in the end went badly, losing my Keeper of Secrets. I think had they stayed alive, we would have been fine, because I could cycle charge his cultists to death. But like, now what? Now what do we do against all these spawn? He's gonna cap everything. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now, let's see. Can we stall it out though? This is an interesting test, because unlike the game against Actor, we can actually, you know, we do actually have decent capture weight with our Marauders. Of course, he does have 2 cultists. They will be quite scary. But, you know, maybe we just stall him out, right? He doesn't have any of the points left. He's gonna take a long time to capture this one. Maybe this is it. Oh man, I really wish that I had played a bit better there and kept my mobility alive. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get my Marauders over here. We're gonna pull all the way over here, try to get this. We only have 3,000 points to get, but if he gets 2 capture points, it's gonna take forever to get the last 2,000. Like, I think he would just easily, he would easily be able to do that. I wonder why he's playing so timid though. Like, is he, I wonder. That's a bit of a strange choice. Do these guys have the Lord loss penalty? Yeah, Lord dead. So that's a minor blessing at least. Now, the single unit of Marauders, they do actually capture this point. Like, they hold it, like, fairly well. So, honestly, he's taking a sweet time capturing these points. He's not even taking fights against the Marauders. We might just win off of victory tickets alone, which would be a little bit silly. But a good test for this tournament format. Here we go. He's finally going in to fight the Marauders. We're going to move up a little bit to make sure that they still actually capture and stall for as long as possible. And then these guys in the distance, they're going to try and recapture this point. I don't think they will in time, because these guys will be there. But, you know, it'll still be worth it. And then the big question is whether or not he can get to this last capture point in time. We can hide ourselves way in the back over there to hopefully stop him. Oh, come on. These guys just have to get on the point. Come on. Yes, look at that. Oh, what heroes, these Marauders. Are you kidding me? Oh, because they're at full HP, they have full capture weight. So I can just ignore these Chaos Warriors, and I think we might win it off of this. Yeah, he sends in his dogs. That's a good play, because then it means these Chaos Warriors can get in the fight. But like, I can't believe he might win just out of lack of mobility. It really all depends on how well this fight goes, though. And whether or not these Marauders actually hold well enough. But like, you know, we have one very beat up cultist. These guys over here, they're holding the point like absolute heroes. They're finally low enough HP where that point will go down. But, oh boy. If we win this, that would be dirty. But I think he did make a misplay not playing more aggressively, though. I think he definitely could have played way more aggressively to actually capture the points earlier when he had realized he won the fight. But still, this is a dirty victory. I know this is a dirty victory. Oh, he might still win it though, just off of these Chaos Spawn. It all comes down to these Hero Marauders, guys. Will they be able to hold the point? They are killing off the Furies. The point is slowly getting captured now, but as long as the Marauders stay, they will be able to hold it. And yeah, I think we did it. We win in 8 seconds. Oh my gosh. Filthy cheese. Filthy capture point cheese. Look at that. Well, we won it. And that does count as a win too. Oh man, he should have seen it coming. He should have seen it coming. That's brutal though. Definitely a little bit of a flaw in the system, but hilarious nonetheless. Yeah, you do want to make sure that you you play for those points, because I did lose a lot going for that middle capture point and the far point. So in a sense, I think if we had both known what was going on, it would have actually been pretty interesting. But at this point, he might just feel a bit cheesed from that madness. My Lord dying was a terrible misplay, though. I could have done way better there. Oh man, yeah, we're taking notes. We're taking notes, guys. Oh man. I don't know why he played so passively though. Maybe he thought that I would have gone army losses, but this game mode doesn't have army losses. So, yeah, that's just rough. He gave the GG though, so we move on. Eye in the North is the next map. And you know what? I guess we go for the standard. Ogres ban Tzeentch. This means that we won't have a counter for Kislev. We're hoping to just win it. We're hoping to win it off of this fight. If we don't, then it comes down to the ace match, and then he can play Ogres, which would be bad. Oh, but he already banned Tzeentch, right? No, he banned Ogres. Wait, no. I don't want to play Ogres, because I'm going to play them for the last match. Instead, to get the picking advantage for next round, I'll go Kislev, ban Ogres. So that way we're up against Tzeentch. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, Tzeentch is the scariest thing. So yeah, let's do that. Kislev ban Ogres. Way better pick in case we lose, then we can play Ogres the next round. Yeah, and we catch them off the picking advantage. Pretty good, pretty good. Still though, I'm having fun with this format. It's a different game mode, not for everyone, but I enjoy the back and forth complexity. Oof. Yeah. And the thing that I like most is that we don't have to worry about rules. Like, not a single time do I have to think about external rules. You just have to put up with the shenanigans, really. Okay. But from here, what does one do against his counterpick? You know, we're playing as Kislev. This is our build that we brought against Tzeentch last time. Worked very well for us. I really like Little Grom, not because it's great, but because it fills a very important niche in the matchup, having that long range firepower. Yeah, we could do a balance check and just like get rid of Pendulum, because I think that would sort of be the easiest thing to knock off at the start. The ogres too, like with the artillery thing. Like, honestly, we could just ban the ogre cannons and make that easier instead of the one of. Because if you think it's OP, you either ban it or you don't, right? Why be like, this army, they can use one of an OP unit. Because then you're digging your hands into balance. But then again, this is my very own tournament format. So I'm free to balance it however I want. It's great. It's very freeing. I've said it before. But you know, I think the Ogre Kingdoms, I don't think anyone really has a good matchup into them, right? Everyone would Ogre Mirror. I personally don't think Pendulum's a problem. Like, Dactor, you used Pendulum against me and it did nothing. Nothing, I say. You know, got a bit of damage in, but like, what, you got a few hundred gold value off of Pendulum? You know, it counters elite infantry, so just don't bring that much elite infantry. We saw box formations as Khorne there. Pendulum didn't, you know, annihilate everything that game. I think it's very strong, but I don't think it's so problematic that it's just gonna totally change the game or anything. But the Ogre Cannons, that probably, yes, because it makes Ogres almost a must pick. Nice, and we get Tzeentch. Nice. I think we win this. I don't foresee too many problems. Oh, but what I should do, I should get a caster this time. I should probably have a caster in my army. Probably. What's a good lore of magic for Kislev? What, you can get the slows? Or you can get the, Yeah, what, you get the slows or you get extra range? Or speed, maybe? Man, Kislev's lore of magic is so bad. I don't even know if it's worth running. That's how bad it is. Let's see, what's the best we can make of this? If I just get a generic caster to just get a tiny bit of extra damage in, that might do it, right? I think that's sort of my best bet here. Yeah, we're gonna go mega budget caster. insanely budget caster. Will she do better than a basic unit of Kossars? I have no idea. I guess we'll see though. All right. So how do we do this? I think one big advantage here that we have is that I'm pretty sure we win. Pretty sure we win a lot of fights. I think a full rush could be a bit scary, like a full armored Zinch rush, maybe. But we do have a lot of kite potential, and I think that might be our saving grace. Also, the great thing about if I win this tournament, I get the prize back, which means I can host another tournament without having to worry about finances at all. So I'll probably be hosting more of these. This is pretty fun, really. Do I prefer this over normal land battles? I think so. I think so. There are, like, it's definitely a lot more cheesy because there's no there's a lot of, like, you know, spell spamming and so on. I admit there's definitely a lot more cheese on that front, but aside from that, like, if you can put up with that, you know, there's no rules you have to worry about, which is really annoying, like, you know, having to constantly check army limits and so on for the other mode. Maybe that's just me, you know, overly complaining about that, but this mode definitely, it has its interesting points for sure. Whether or not I prefer it to what we have on Ent Ladder right now, that's yet to be decided. But anyways, let's good luck have fun our opponent. We're gonna grab our chariots, we're gonna move out and skirmish with his forces, and then we're gonna keep our guys away from being pendulums, and then we'll be fine. Now here's his army. He did go pretty hard on the armor, not a lot of chaos spawn. So actually I think one huge advantage we have right now is our ability to skirmish. And then, yeah, we'll still be able to do that. The meta for this is definitely way different than normal land battles, because attacking rules makes it where you really can't do a lot of types of playstyles. So that might do something. Anyways, let's see if this cannonball kills some knights for us. And it does. Sweet. That's exactly why we bring Little Grom here. It's an easy way to pick off early Zinch armor. And then we'll just take a fight in this big open area. Okay, we're gonna get another shot in. There we go. His knights take a decent amount of losses. Nothing too crazy though. And yeah, now we wait. Now he could be going for the big surround here right now. That would be mildly terrifying. We have an Exalted Lord of Change, not your usual Kairos. Looks like he chose to go for metal. So actually not going for the pendulums. Interesting choice, perhaps a misplay, according to common knowledge. A lot of people would say pendulum is the spell to bring, but Moore has decided not to. A misplay? Maybe. I guess we'll see. See, what's he planning to do though? What, just like a big final transmutation? That would be decent, but I don't think it's gonna, you know, win any fights by any means. Not to mention his Lord of Change has taken a beating from all of my ranged. He does not want to be flying over me. There we go. He's juking a bit, but he's definitely took an unfavorable trade there. And yeah, we're trading really well. Now, here's the thing. He might capture all the points, and we could lose via that. But the trading so far is going great, so I'm not especially worried. Let's go ahead and grab Little Grom. We're going to pick off the few more of these knights over here. And then, yeah, we're just going to skirmish him out. There we go. Another brutal hit. And he is deciding to take the fight. Now, this is where it gets interesting. He doesn't have to take the fight here. But if he doesn't, he's going to get kited out. Alternatively, he could have gone for just hard capture points. And that would have been a very interesting choice. You know, just really focus on the capture points and do well there. But I think the kiting would have been a little bit too scary. So this sort of feels like he's making the right play. One sort of problem that I have is that my anti-armor is sort of garbage right now. And I fear these Chaos Knights of Siege. I think they could actually get a lot of damage in. if I'm not careful here. And it's gonna be up to my bears, I guess, to really carry here. Thankfully, a couple of my guys move forwards. We'll pretend that was just a sick dodge instead. And then, yeah, we're just gonna take a big fight over here. Now, we do have a bunch of Chaos Knights, but we have Castalton. And he's going to be able to give a pretty big heal for all of these guys. That's going to make the chariots rather difficult to take out. And off the back of that big heal, I think the chariots are pretty fine now. A couple Chaos Knights in the back that I'm not especially worried about. He is focus firing my my little Grom, but that's okay. And you know what? We don't really have to commit to this fight. Because here's the thing. We can just pull back. Because my win condition is my chariots and my bears. There's so much armor here for Tzeentch that, like anything that doesn't do armor piercing is not going to be that great against them. So what I should do is I should just buffer with my infantry and have them tank for my chariots. You know, not have the chariots try to protect my guys. In this way, I can sort of trade a lot better in the late game and just kill off all his armor with my chariots, and then I should be good. The bears are still extremely healthy too, and then a couple Forsaken shouldn't be too much of a problem. Essentially, all the Forsaken, they'll just sort of crumble away to the raw power of cycle charging from these chariots. No big spell on this blob too means that I'm a little bit more comfortable. And we will be losing Little Grom possibly, but it's not the end of the world. We can make do without Little Grom. Although I would love it to get one more shot on these Chaos Knights. Let's see if we can slip that in for ourselves. In the meantime, we're just gonna be blobbing up these guys as much as we humanly can. We're gonna pull them back because you can see Moore is pulling his units here to try and defend his horrors. We still don't want to take a bad fight there. Let's see, where are my bears? Okay, there they are. Let's grab all of the chariots, pull them in together. Castalton's gonna get his big heal, and then we're gonna pull the chariots back, send the bears into melee, and then we should be fine. Castalton's gonna fight in melee too against those Chaos Knights, and now we hope that our chariots are enough to kill them all, because he just landed a devastating final transmutation. That hurt quite a bit. But what does he really have left? Just a couple Chaos Knights. Nothing too crazy. The Exalted Lord of Change is a little bit crazier. Castalton is not an amazing fighter against him. But wow, look at that. I think he just landed a massive hit on that. Either that or it was my bears, but that was pretty huge. I'm not gonna lie. Took out his shields entirely. And I think from that, we might be able to win it here. Because there's barely any armor left for Tzeentch. Our bears are still at full model count, so we can continue to heal them up. That's one Chaos Knight routing off. And now we can sort of surround this Lord of Change with our wagons and just bully him to death. We do have to be careful, though, of any potential shenanigans as it comes to final transmutation, but the fact that he just cast a spell means that he probably doesn't have a final trans. Anyways, let's bog him down. Grab those chariots. We're gonna body block them like so, and then we're gonna pull away because now he has Forsaken, and we're gonna run through into this valley over here and use that as our sort of safety retreat path. And then in 20 seconds, I should be able to get a nice second heal off on my units here. Oof, we lost another bear, unfortunately. It's a bit too bad, but we can make do. And come on, don't rout on me, war bears. We have a few more seconds and then we can sort of charge into here with all of our units. The Lord of Change actually went on Little Grom, which is going to distract him for a bit. And I think with that, we could probably... you know what, let's not. Let's play it a bit safe. We're going to pull back and then we're going to capture the points. Because what we do have is mobility. And although Little Grom here might go down, I think we're still trading pretty well. In fact, we can get some pretty nice point blank shots here with said Grom. There we go, we knock down the Lord of Change. And then as soon as he gets back up, we're just going to ping him again. There we go, manual fire shenanigans. Nice. Okay, how's everyone else doing? We still have our mobility, and then I guess we just win with that. It makes this game mode really weird, because then it really favors mobility in the late game, but it's still very interesting. I will say my interest is definitely peaked. Would I consider changing the ban system in the future? Yeah, I don't feel strongly about the ban system. I think it could probably use some updating. Alright, here we go. Let's start capturing these points. Castalton is basically the biggest capture weight we have here. So, yeah, that's going to be a bit important. In fact, our opponent might even go for the avoidance strategy too. That would cause a few issues, wouldn't it? For now, I think what we can do is we can finish off these blue horrors at the very least. And there we go, we have our first capture point. So we're capturing at about the same speed as our opponent now. I'm gonna charge into these blue horrors and take them out. The Forsaken are off the map too. And then once we have the mobility, I think we're good. Lord of Change won't have too much shields either, which is quite nice. And then if I can take out these blue horrors, we're set. We're set for life. Honestly, I think if he had gone for like a big anti-kite type of build and then just held some points, that might have done it for him. But like the chariots kite so well, they can be a pretty big pain. There we go, blue horrors are down. That's a big plus. I only wish I had more heals on Castalton. Let's see, so now we want to take this blob fight. His Lord of Change is going over here to deal with my Kossars, but I think that's a bit of a misplay. I think he should be defending this blob instead, because if this blob dies, he basically has nothing left. So it's super imperative that he goes here to clean this up. And it looks like he's deciding not to. So we're just gonna plow in with our chariots. The Exalted Lord of Change, he does reconsider. He's now moving towards this here formation. And now we just have to win the fight. I have a bunch of war bearers, they're anti-large. And we're gonna get final transmutation. I can smell that miles away. So instead of dying to that, I'm just gonna, yeah, just play it safe. Play it safe. Maybe we'll send in the war bearers after. And then we're gonna leave one chariot unit back to really just make sure that there is no way that he's going to final transmutation me. There we go, Castalton landing a hit. Man, Castalton's been doing good against the birds this run. I'm liking it. Nice, and then we can just focus fire him. Nice, and then now he's basically forced to do a final transmutation to try and win this fight. And then after that, we're basically set. I feel like if he hadn't actually fought me though, like if you look at how many victory tickets he's gone, I think he could have more or could have won it. Just because like he could have captured the points and just not fought me. But I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. If we end up playing Tzeentch against Kislev, I'll try that out. Because I feel like that's sort of the strat that you want to do. Oh man, but yeah, basically because we're pretty well set to capture this point, I'm not really worried about anything else. All I have to do is win this fight over here, capture the point, and then we're good. Maybe I can send my bearers over here in the distance, but I think they lose getting charged by the Exalted Lord of Change. So I wouldn't really want that. Oh man, I really don't want to get final transmutation. Maybe I can try and bait it out by pulling in with a few chariots. But we're not gonna commit too hard here. Capture point is he is actually getting quite a few victory tickets, and I think well earned too, because he was the aggressor. I played very defensively this battle, so now the onus is on me to play a bit more aggressively. So I think it's sort of working out as intended. Nice big volley on that Lord of Change. Lords of Change are a bit clunky. They take a while to turn, so chariots do the range shots from the chariots, they will kill them pretty hard. Yeah. Nice. Looks like a Sultan. Man, these blue horrors though are really grinding it out. They're sticking around for a while. The capture, it might take a hot second to actually capture this point, but as soon as they're down, I think we're okay. Worst case scenario, we can always capture that last point too. Maybe I was messing up not cycle charging. What, do these guys have a... These guys have anti-infantry. But yeah, they're not like amazing when it comes to what? They have a melee attack of 35. I should have been cycle charging, but you know, it's fine. Anyways, a Plague of Rust does drop on my bears. That's okay. We're gonna pull them back. And then we're gonna focus fire this Lord of Change. There we go. He's in a very rough spot now. We're gonna pull away this chariot to make sure that we don't get that final transmutation. I haven't been counting Winds of Magic, but he likely has quite a bit, even if he did cast a few final transmutations early on. But maybe not, I don't know. Like, he might just have so much Winds of Magic, he's just gonna Plague of Rust me. But the Plague of Rust sort of is a sign that he's running low on magic. But there we go, Lord of Change is down. That's gonna be the last of... Oh no, he recovers! What a mad lad! Okay. Okay, he barely recovers. But we do have the final capture point, and I do have enough units to hold all of them, so I think we've won it. We've won it. Oh man, it was a little bit close though, wasn't it? Definitely a little bit sketchy there for a second, but yeah, we have 2 capture points now. I'm pretty sure we outpace them on the capture weight side of things. So yeah, I think we're good. And then we're gonna be facing up against Call Harmon, the dreaded competitor to us today. Call Harmon, our very own clanmate, is going to be... He's gonna be a bit of a menace. Wow, he recovered again. What a mad lad. Yeah, Call Harmon's gonna be a bit of a menace. Whoa, what just happened there? Oh, did I accidentally withdraw my chariots? Are you kidding me? Wow, what a misclick. Okay, well, that's embarrassing. Yeah, I accidentally withdrew my chariots. That is terrible. Okay, yeah, you definitely don't want to click that button, or you will straight up lose the game. Looks like he's gonna be throwing down a bombardment spell on Castalton. If we keep him moving, it should miss. There we go. It misses. Very nice. And then all I have to do is kill off all his ground units, and then he can't cast. And then we won it. I think just off the backs of the War Bears alone, we've won it. So, should be good. And then it's a match against Call Harmon. Now, I wonder what he's bought against us. Possibly he's gonna go Ogre Kingdoms, and then we'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll go a Tzeentch pick, and then I'll be fine. I don't know. We'll see. Call Harmon, if you're watching, I'm coming for you. Some very fun games, though. Kislev seems to still do well against Tzeentch. He didn't even go for pendulums this time, and it seems like the build did pretty good against armor, although it got a little bit sketchy. And the Frost Maiden was not worth it. I don't even think it's worth bringing magic as Kislev. That's a shame. But there we go. GG. Let's get our invite link and then message Call Harmon for the final match of today. Should be quite good. We are up. All right. So what are we playing on? Eye in the North. Same map as last time. If he goes ogres, we could go Cathay. Is there a build for Cathay that beats ogres? Maybe not. Maybe we play aggressively. We just dodge those cannons like a madman. Ogres does take a long time to actually kite Cathay with ogres. So that could be a strat. Alternatively, we just lose it immediately. But I think Tzeentch is probably the better choice. All right, Call Harmon. He's saying, by the way, what's going on? Oh, okay. He's just congratulating me. Oh, what a cool guy. Yeah, we don't need a screen blocker for Call Harmon too. He's an awesome guy. GG more. Those are some very interesting matches. Oh man, I'm so sorry I won via victory tickets. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, if we get new maps, that'd be really good. Slaanesh ban Tzeentch, what a guy. Alright, if he's going Slaanesh ban Tzeentch, we have an interesting thing. I think we just go Nurgle though. Yeah, he thinks maybe not on this map. He can change it up, that's fine. Yeah, the format's pretty fun. I think it has a few flaws here and there, but whether or not the flaws outweigh the benefits of no rules, I think it's pretty good. Like with a bit of tuning up, this could be really nice. Probably the ogre cannons will change because I think in a developed meta, ogres would just be way too much of a menace. But I don't think Pendulum does the same thing for Tzeentch. I think Tzeentch's counters are basically the same. You do the same more? Oh, what a mad lad. What a mad lad. Yeah, if you can just have some mobility at the end of the game, you might just win it. But it's cool because cavalry captures pretty slowly, so... Yeah, like, it's a different game. It's really weird. It plays differently from land battles and domination at the same time. Oh, man. It's exciting. And I think if you've solved the balance issues, it's pretty good. The maps are fairly open. Of course, there's not a lot of diversity, but they seem open enough where you can play a proper, 20 stack. He goes ogres and he bans Tzeentch. Now here's the thing. Does Cathay counter ogres? We can go for 1,000,000 units of infantry. It's a large, flat, open map. But we do have cannons. I feel like maybe Cathay can actually do it here. We have to not get, mega cheesed by the ogres. But if we can handle that, we're good. Yeah, screw the ogre mirror match. I think Cathay... I personally think ogres are favored here, but I think we might be able to try and slip something through. Yeah, and I know Carl Harmon, he's definitely not intentionally stream sniping, definitely not for $5. So here's the strategy. Lots of spears, lots of halberds, right? We go all in on that. And then we just need a few extra units to sort of pressure Noblars. Noblars are a pain because they counter these guys. But one thing that I found that's actually hilarious, Sky Lanterns, not a bad unit. Hilariously enough, against a long kite game against ogres, Sky Lanterns get all of their shots off. It's great. Wasn't fan of Eye in the North. Yeah, Eye in the North is a bit janky. Yeah, I do it just because we needed a third map. But like this middle area makes things sort of weird. I totally get you. And I think we actually do go for cavalry here, as weird as that is. Just like 1,000,000 peasant horsemen. Not the worst thing in the world. Maybe even a single longbow rider. Is that too sketchy? I still need a lord too, but like, what? If we go for this lord, right? Put her on a longbow. And then just have her fly around and make sure that the ogre mobility doesn't ruin us. She can even go... We can get the physical resist, 75%. Not bad when ogres have so much burst damage. And then like, and then I think the shield ability. Now the alternative is we go for summons. And summons are great and all, but I don't think Carl Harmon's gonna rush a big old melee front like this. I can't believe I'm running Sky Lanterns. But legit, I do think they're pretty good. Because they waste the ammo on the Iron Blasters, right? If it uses half of its ammo on a Sky Lantern, I'm totally fine with that. No one cares about losing a Sky Lantern. It's 900 gold. It takes longer to kill that than a unit of infantry. Pretty good, I would say. And then what? I said longbows, but I could just do this. Oh, we've reached 20 stack capacity. Guys, is this the best build in the world? Or will it die to... Oh, wait, I don't have any cannons. That's what I was missing. Whoopsies. Yeah, I need cannons. I 100% need cannons. There we go. We're going to go triple cannon. That way Iron Blasters will run out of ammo against us. And then I just need a little bit to deal with some, like, basic Noblar shenaniganry. I'm very tempted to go for a Longbow Rider for that mobility. But I have to cut a lot to actually throw it in. And I feel like that... It's like I have to cut a little bit too much. I can probably get the same job done with just peasant horsemen. So yeah, let's try this. This is interesting because I think this game mode favors Cathay against ogres. That's the interesting part. Because yeah, I think the fact that you can hold control points means that the usual ogre kite isn't nearly as effective. That's my plan. I don't even know if he's gonna go ogre kite. He may very well just go for a full-on rush and we die instantly. But like, We'll see. We'll see. I think ogre rushes aren't that great. Especially with those cannons, man. And like, we got some really nice choke points here on this map. Whew. How good is he at dodging, though? We're gonna have to basically stagger our cannon shots if we want to make sure that he doesn't dodge. Yeah. If we put the cannons reasonably far away, too, it'll be hard to position his lead belchers. And then a scrap launcher, I'm just hoping it won't get in range. And then we just cap him out. Because this game mode, it puts a hard cap on how long you can kite for. Not just spell cheese. And thankfully, ogres don't have too much spell cheese either. Wouldn't that be hilarious, though, if Cathay... If I win this as Cathay, I don't think you need to remove Iron Blasters. Because then ogres have 3 counter picks. You can Mirror, you can play Cathay, you can play Tzeentch. And if you can play those 3, and they have those counters, then you're set. You're set. And, you know, you just let the meta develop. Let the meta breathe a little bit, you know? This is something that I never do on Ent Ladder, because people would complain forever. But on my own mini tournament, I'm willing to test out the things that no one else is willing to. The double Sky Lantern triple artillery strats. You have never seen it before. All right. Now, here's the fun part. We do get all the way in range of his capture point. From here, we have a healthy amount of cavalry. We don't have to worry about Vanguard shenanigans, which is quite nice. We have 1,000,000 peasant spears up front, and they're going to be in the front because I think these guys are going to get flanked, and the peasant spears actually, it's much less likely that Karl Harman's going to attack us from that side. And look at the range on the Sky Lanterns. Insanity range, right? They can park, they basically have full map control. So let's try it out, you know? Maybe this is a strat. Do you guys think we're gonna win? Put in your votes now. We don't have too many people watching, so you can just type in chat. You know, if you think Karl Harman's gonna win, put a 1 in chat. If you think I'm gonna win, put in a 2. I'm expecting only 2s from you guys. Oh boy, this is gonna be sketchy, super sketchy. But you know, as long as we don't get killed by 1,000,000 ranged Noblars, I'm happy. But yeah, I've been theory crafting this build a little bit. I think it's okay. One big thing is that when those scrap launchers do start shooting, I have to make sure that my guys don't get shot into oblivion. Because they will be taking a lot of damage for sure. Alright, and he's readied up. Here we go. Let's start it. Let's start it. Everyone's saying Karl Harman. We have 2 people on Karl Harman's side already. You madman. How dare you? Alright, here we go. So we have the cannons firing away. And what does he have? Did he not go? No, there they are. Iron Blasters ×2 on the side. But look at this. The double lanterns. Securing a lot of space for ourselves. And this is going to be a capture point victory. For sure. Yeah. 100% this is a capture point victory. And we just have to be super careful that we don't get picked apart by those scrap launchers. And I just want a ton of map control with my lanterns, and then I'm happy. What does he have? A Slaughter Master? Not a problem. He doesn't have any Iron Blasters, which these guys were meant to counter. The combination of artillery plus lanterns was supposed to be very good versus that, but you know, this works too. Cannons are firing away. They sound amazing, by the way. I love the sound of Cathay cannons. Such great sound effects. But yeah, he's just moving a few Noblars this way, but like, we have such a great position here. He's moving a few guys. Wow, the lanterns, they spot the Noblars from like a mile away. That's really good. That's really good against stealth factions. I would have not expected that. Pretty nice. We don't need a ton of cavalry on this flank. As you can see, he doesn't have too many units there. And then now we just we poke away at these guys. Very, very good. Let's set the guard mode on now. Let's get the not dying to Iron Blaster strategies now. We got to start firing in that direction. And then yeah, we'll poke away over here. Here we go. And now our lanterns can start poking away at that. We've already lost one of our guys. That's a bit unfortunate. Let's go ahead and give these guys a barrier so that the next Iron Blaster volley Doesn't annihilate them. Never mind, it annihilates them anyways. Pretty painful, but you know, what can you do? And we're just gonna hold these points. And then if the Iron Blasters run out of ammo, I think we're in the clear. Because that's basically all we gotta do, you know, just drain them out of ammo, win the melee fight, and then we're good. Of course, they do, you know, they trade really well into the cannons. They could potentially just really ruin them. So I have to be a little bit wary of that. Let's start catching out a few of these guys while we're here. And then just let our lanterns poke away. Oh, he's firing at the lanterns now. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, he routed off another cannon, though. That's pretty rough. Yeah, the thing is, right? He's gonna kill off the cannons. And he's still gonna have decent ammo on the Iron Blasters. Of course, that's pretty scary. But, like, we have a million spears everywhere. What's a Call Harmon to do, right? He's wasting a bit of ammo on the things too, the Sky Lanterns. That's pretty hilarious. And if we can reclaim one of these cannons, that would be great. That would be amazing. There we go. We're routing off his Noblars so that we can control this capture point. And now he has his cavalry slipping on in. Some Mournfang cavalry. We'll want to stop them up. We've captured a single point. That's decent. Very decent. Let's just catch the cavalry. Let's see. Do these guys have ammo? I don't think these guys even have an artillery piece left. That's a bit unfortunate, but still fine. Here we go. We got more Noblars coming on in. Some ogres. That's all right. We're poking away at that Slaughter Master, which is good. And his ogres are taking a lot of damage here. Look at this. This is sick. Good thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because like we can secure so much territory here. There's not a lot Call Harmon can do. He can't really take a direct fight because everything's gonna get obliterated by spears. This is amazing. I'm loving this. Oh my goodness, because usually the scrap launchers, they would kite for like forever, you know. They would take their sweet time picking off your units, and then eventually just pick off your infantry one at a time. But in this case, I don't think they can. We just have so much infantry here that there's not much they can do, and they have to deal with the Sky Lanterns, otherwise they'll poke away forever. So pretty nice. Let's get some halberds here onto these Noblars, and then a few more guys on the middle point. That's what I would like. Okay, we have lost a few guys in the middle here. These ogre bulls are still a little bit scary. So, you know, the battle's not won yet, but I think things are going okay for us. How's the trading going? Call Harmon's technically trading better, so a little bit scary. Let's see. How many cannons do we have left? Can I man these? Looks like they're all down, sadly. Alright. Well, for now, we'll just camp with our big balloon tower here and poke away at his lords and such. Oh, crap, I forgot. I should turn off formation attack. Formation attack makes your units fight worse. Just a heads up. It makes them fight way worse. Alright, there we go. So Call Harmon's now, he's decided to switch maneuvers, and his cannons are now moving over here to try and support the middle point. Makes sense, as you definitely would want to stop that. But because we have the mobility advantage, we can just chill. We can get our cavalry and jump onto those Iron Blasters and stop them from killing us. And then I can grab this cavalry over here and finish off the Noblars. Yeah, this fight's going great for us. We're going to stall the Mournfang in the distance with a bit of that action. And then we're just going to flood the point with infantry. Oof, but he is capturing this middle point. That's a bit sketchy. That's a little bit sketchy. My lord got slowed down. We'll dodge a bit with her to keep her safe. Wow, the Slaughter Master is routing with like 1,000,000 HP. That's good for us. Okay. Okay, let's just keep swarming the point then. Let's just keep swarming it. Maybe get some halberds over here on this far point. Oh, that was a near miss. That almost killed us. Quite scary. And then, let's see, I just need my cavalry to do well. I don't like the Mournfang cavalry over here. They're actually going to cause me a few issues because I don't have infantry nearby. Call Harmon might still win this, which is a bit scary. Oh boy, those Iron Blasters, they have a lot of ammo too. Man, I really wish that my guys hadn't run out of ammo so quickly, but what can you do? Or maybe not my guys running out of ammo, but I mean like, yeah, my cannons going down so fast, that was pretty sketchy. Nevertheless, we have our lord in here. She's fighting this guy. Is she getting sniped by an iron blaster? It looks like not quite yet. That's good. That's good for her. Let's see, where's my peasant horsemen? They gotta get in on the fight. Looks like the slaughter master, he is going down. We have our thing focus firing him. Oh boy, it's a bit sketchy. We're gonna give that physical resist before we get blasted off the map here. And then my halberds just need to help in this fight. I'm gonna sacrifice some peasant horsemen to win this engagement over here. And then, nice, we have the iron blasters a bit bogged down. That's a blessing. But I need my lord to live. If she dies, it's almost all over. So let's go ahead and give her some buffs. Get our spears, move them into support. Slaughtermaster's probably healing himself up a ton. How's the trading going? Decently, very decently. How's my artillery doing? All right, we can fire in on some ogre bulls in the distance, but my lord routs. Oh, that's rough. Because now she's gonna get blasted into smithereens. I can feel it coming a mile away. Still though, we have the middle point and we have the far point over here soon. As soon as these Noblars go down. That's a small blessing. And my lord comes back. Thank goodness. Looks like the iron blasters fired at the sky lantern too. So we're cool with that. It's fine if that iron blaster goes down. Or if that sky lantern goes down. Oh, but my lord routs again. Oh, that's really bad for leadership. Oh boy, let's see how this plays out. The iron blasters are nearly out of ammo though. And if I can just drain them, it'll be enough. It'll be enough. Oh, come on, don't die, lord. Don't die, I need you. I need you here to live. Oh man, thankfully we still have that one artillery piece online and operational. That's definitely very good. Oh, and she lives! She lives, what a mad lad. Okay, she needs to dodge like crazy and not die. Oh boy, this is what a fight this is. That one iron blaster at low ammo could obliterate my units of infantry real easy if I'm not careful. In the middle, we're killing the Mournfang cavalry and my lord should be able to chase off these ogre bulls. I still have some infantry in the back. Oh, and one cannon crew for this guy in the distance. The single oh no, there's still a Noblar there. That's unfortunate. All right, still though, we can get this done. I think off the backs of my halberds were good. But she routs again. Oh, what a coward. What an absolute coward, lord. Oh, that's gonna cause so many routs on my infantry. Their leadership is not nearly healthy enough for this madness. But look, we have this middle point, and I still have a unit of cavalry. The iron blasters are basically out of ammo. You know, even if she gets off the map, maybe we're fine. There she goes. There goes the leadership. It all comes down to this, on whether or not my infantry can hold. We have 2 points over Call Harmon, so he just has to cycle charge us to death. And I still have a good amount of cavalry. This point is very well held. And I think the halberds win it. I think the halberds win it against all odds. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a sketchy fight. Yeah, the leadership on the halberds is gonna have to hard carry here. This one unit of peasant horsemen is just here to charge these guys in the back, more or less. Let's countercharge these here saber tusks. If I lose this unit of halberds, that'd be really rough, but it seems like they might do okay. Yeah, they might do okay. Over here, iron blasters cycle charging me. Pretty rough, but not terrible. And nice, we get a clean charge on these ogres in the back. Next up, we're gonna countercharge the Mournfang cavalry. Give them a hard time. Here we go. And the balance of power is slowly going in our favor. I like it. I like it. There's a debuff coming in from that Slaughter Master, but I don't think his artillery can do it. I think he just needs too much time to win this fight. I will have to be very careful though, especially with these peasant horsemen. Their survival is so imperative for victory here. Oh boy. Let's see. I still have this artillery crew. They're gonna move over. I don't know what they're gonna do. Oh, this is such a close fight. This is such a close fight. Oh, but losing my lord might have done it. That might have won it for Call Harmon. Because without my lord, it's like We're taking so much, so many routes, you know? Oh, come on. Come on, you darn spears. Keep it together, lads. Keep it together, you darn spears. Oh, man. All right. Well, I still have this unit of cavalry. And they're going to distract a unit from capturing this point. As long as they can capture this back area, right? I think that might be it. You know, we just hold this point as long as possible. We threaten to capture. And then call harm and then we win by victory points. But it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a very close one indeed. Lots of my guys are running for the hills now. Yep, there we go. There we go. He's capturing the middle. Do we have enough to hold this last objective? I guess that's what it comes down to, right? I think he needs... Yeah, we only need 500. So if we can just distract this Mornfang cavalry and hold this last point, I think we won it. That's the plan now. We just need 100 seconds. What's that, like a minute of time? Can't be that bad. And then in the meantime, these guys are holding this cap point. Now we have our halberds over here. They're gonna do all right. Oh boy. Let's see. There we go. There's another big charge from that artillery piece. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be sketchy. This is gonna be real sketchy. Yeah, the thing is, this Iron Blaster is starting to capture the point pretty hard too. And my guys are routing. Dang it! I think if my Lord hadn't routed off, we could have won it. I think legit we could have won it if our Lord hadn't routed off. But now that Iron Blaster is it's gonna capture the point. Oh, what are we looking at here? Oh, the halberds actually win it. Are you kidding me? The halberds, what heroes? Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's hope that they do it. There we go. They rout off the Iron Blaster. Oh, come on, please. I just want to win this fight. I gotta win against the Ogre Kingdoms, right? You can't not win against the Ogre Kingdoms. Yeah, it's all on whether or not these guys rout or not. The Iron Blaster has pretty good capture weight. If I move over here onto this lip, it gives them a sort of janky charge. There we go, but he moves in. And it comes down to this. It comes down to this. One last point to win it all. We have a couple units of infantry holding it. The halberds, absolute heroes of the day. They are actually holding it, but they rout. Oh my gosh, not like this. Come on, not like this. Everyone routs. We have 4 seconds, but we won it. We beat the Ogre Kingdoms. Yes. Get wrecked, ogres. Yes. Oh my gosh. Now, if I hadn't lost my Lord there, we would have easily won. We would have easily won. I think it's still a pretty rough matchup. Oh, so close. Yeah, I think ogres still have a pretty good advantage with 2 Iron Blasters here. If you had 1, I think we easily could have won it. But with the 2, it was very, very close. If we had 4 cannons, we might have won it too. Oh my gosh. GG, Call Harmon. Well played, man. That was a really good scrap. Well, honestly, that was a really good game. That was phenomenal. And all you guys typed 1. You madman. All right. What's the next map? Broken Leg Gully. Here we go. Map set. Very open map. Possibly could also be bad here. Oh man. Let's see. What do we do? He doesn't have ogres, so we could play Kislev, and then ban like Khorne, and we'd be good. Kislev, ban Khorne. I think. Yeah, I think this is it. Oh man. Whew. Jeez Louise. Yeah, GG. That was a nail biter. I'm thinking of sending that to Turin. Sick. Oh, Call Harmon's cool with us sending it to Turin. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see where the replay's at. Where are the replays at? Yeah, we're definitely sending that one over. Yeah, he might not like the double iron blaster, but I think we should be good. Oh boy. Oh boy, that was such a scrap. I can't believe you won with double Sky Lantern though. That was sick. Alright, he's going Slanesh. That's a good one. That's a good one. So Slanesh here has a mobility advantage, and they also have some pretty scary infantry. I would like to go for the lore of Ice for this. Ice Maiden's Kiss. Kill all Slanesh infantry. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. We don't really need anything else. Maybe I'll take the Ice Sheet just to use my Winds of Magic. And then we're going to go for a big old infantry fight. What does that mean? It means 1,000,000 spears. That's right. All the Kossars you can possibly imagine. Maybe even a couple horse archers. Kite around, skirmish a bit. I won't go for the sleds because they're a tiny bit slower. But the horse archers are much less prone to getting caught out. I could even go for dervishers, but if he goes for a lot of the standard cavalry, that could be quite scary. What is it? Kossar great weapons aren't too useful. I think, yeah, if we spam these guys up to 4, that basically puts us where we want to be. Now we can also go for the elemental bear strategy. That's not terrible. Like a Castalton double bear. That's actually pretty terrifying, isn't it? Yeah, and then, you know, he'll have to rush us pretty hard. But, like, we'll have the heal. We'll have the extra melee attack and fire damage. Fire damage not as useful. But, yeah. I like to go fire damage, vigor, and the leadership with my Castalton bear squad. Of course, now we don't have enough money for both of the bears. I would actually, you know what? Yeah. What you do is you go Heart of Winter, and then you go for the big old infantry blob. That's probably way better, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see. Now, how do I fit in another bear? I guess take out this guy, and then maybe... Yeah, maybe 2 armored Kossars. Oh! Elemental bears are capped to 1. Look at that, CA stopping the cheese. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Well, I'll happily take more Kossars then, CA. Very, very happily. I am pleasantly surprised by that. That they would go out of their way to make the bears less scary. Pretty good. Yeah, and then I'll go Heart of Winter, but... Crystal Sanctuary's good. Do I really need it? Probably not. I could go for the tiny bit of extra armor against their infinite armor piercing. Not that useful. I guess I'll just take the slow then. You know, just in case. But mostly it's going to be Heart of Winter carrying me here. Alright, let's try it out. The big benefit that we have here is that it's very hard for him to capture the side point. Since we have... we can just position our infantry to cover 2 points at the same time. And then I don't think Call Harmon can easily flank us from there. So that's my strat for this fight. Bad. You know, overall, I call this a success. I think Tzeentch and Cathay actually do counter ogres well enough in this mode because they are under time pressure. I really like that win. Really makes a statement, you know, even though it might be completely wrong as the meta develops, but what a fun day. This is great. Alright, so now all we gotta do is actually execute this properly. Slanesh, of course, very scary for their single entities, right? Really got a lot of cavalry. Their infantry could just overrun us here. But in terms of flanking, we're pretty safe. We have this huge area over here. We don't really have to worry about anything. And then we have our skirmishers to force Call Harmon to take a fight against us. We're really using our terrain to our advantage here today. To make sure that just basically we can take some different types of builds. You know, on this map, cannons are pretty good too, but I'll skip out on Little Grom just in case Call Harmon goes for a full rush. That would be a bit terrifying. But yeah, I like this. I like this. I think the worst case scenario is someone cheeses by boxing in the corner and then kiting. But even then, I think like Tzeentch shields are really good against kite if they don't have a supporting army nearby. All right, so here we go. Now we have a big old gun line today. And most people say that domination maps are too small for gun lines. They say that it's simply not possible. And I am going to try and prove them wrong today. I don't know how well I'll prove them wrong, but hopefully we can show that, you know, these armies do manage to fit decently well on these maps, even though they are a bit more cramped than the usual situation. We will be going for the glorious box formation too, as a counter to pendulums. Pendulums, of course, one of the scariest abilities in the game currently, but not the worst thing in the world when you can simply, when you can simply just take half damage. Most of these units are super cheap too. That's the one thing about Pendulum. It means that you can't really go hard on the very expensive forces, but that doesn't matter too much, as generally elite infantry, you know, they don't have to be good. But if you are a fan of them, Pendulum definitely does wreck them pretty hard. Nevertheless, I think our build is quite good. We have a decent amount of single entity strength. Not as much as I wish we could have, but good enough where I'm not too terrified about, how about just getting overrun by a million units. So let us see. Let us see. This is an interesting formation. I'm just hoping that my skirmishers can contest this point. If Call Harmon easily contests 2 points at the same time, we're sort of screwed. But here's the thing, if we hold the center, we can easily bounce to either point. So we can go here, or we can bounce up here. And then he would have to loop all the way around to catch us. So I think that alone causes a ton of problems for him. For his army, we're seeing a Herald of Slaanesh, a ton of hidden units. Because yeah, it's what, some Hellstriders and Seekers. Where are your units, Call Harmon? Where are your units? I have no idea. I can only hope that it's not going to pop out and ruin us here. We got a couple Exalted Demon Nets. One thing that I was a little bit terrified of. All right. And then, I don't know. A couple more Exalted Demon Nets. Okay. So they are my primary focus fire target with my range guys. We do not want to be getting shot by them. That would be very bad. Or not shot by them, but having them rush into melee against me. That would be terrible. That would be devastating even. Just because they can grind down my infantry super fast if I'm not careful. These 2 units of cavalry are purely just gonna chill in the back as a means to stop any shenanigans, like, you know. I don't want to make him oh, this is a bit scary. Cavalry moving on in. Yeah, I don't want Call Harmon to engage my forests and charge them in the back. Even though I do have a lot of spears, it's a little bit scary. Let's go ahead and grab the bear, and we'll just get an early breath attack off. Why not? I think Call Harmon would be near suicidal to charge into my bear right now, as I have so much ranged firepower behind it. And then we're gonna bring our skirmishers back here, and they're going to anti-skirmish these Seekers of Slaanesh in the distance. I think that's gonna be a pretty nice play. In the meantime, Kastalton and the bear can hold the middle point, and then we'll just see how this plays out. I have a good amount of skirmishers. They can poke away here, and I'm not in a big rush to capture the points, because I'm pretty sure I can get the I'm pretty sure I can cap relatively quickly, you know, after I get enough of an advantage. Like, all these guys are out of position, that's for sure. But I guess my range guys are a bit too. So we'll see. For now, we'll just poke away at these guys. Of course, I have my caster over here. She'll be able to get some good damage in. And what do we do here? I guess we just poke at his cavalry. And maybe, you know what? Maybe oh, he brought a snare. Well, that's what I get for not reading army abilities. Call Harmon's gonna obliterate a lot of my mobility now. Oh, but they actually do get a pretty nice disengage. That's nasty. Oh, that net did not last nearly as long as he would have hoped for. And we're gonna get a pretty clean disengage. That's very good for me. Nice. So next up, what we gotta do, I gotta secure this flank. I need to make sure that, that we don't run into too many issues over there. Let's see. The Furies are diving in aggressively onto my guys. All right. And then, yeah, we're just gonna do some cavalry shenanigans, you know, swapping them out, using the skirmishers to do the fighting. And then I think there's not enough here to actually defend reasonably well, you know. I think we should be fine on that front. Yeah, he took a pretty bad cavalry engagement there. You know, we have the bear to hold this middle point. And then I think we just capture this point, and then the pressure's on. Yeah, plus we have all of these guys over here. They're doing great. We've won the cavalry fight. We still have a bit of extra ammo too. And now we can pretty easily take over this area. A couple exalted demonettes shouldn't be able to do too much damage. Not when we have the Ice Maiden's Kiss, which is going to be helping us out a lot here. Ice Maiden's Kiss, really nice wind spell. Just going to absolutely annihilate these demonettes. It's very hard to see, but you can see their HP drops down to half almost immediately, just off of that. And it's just because the demonettes, they don't have any armor, so they're very susceptible to those types of plays. Nice. So this choke point's completely blocked off now. Going to, yeah, just completely lock that down, make it impossible for him to break through. And then we just sort of have to take this fight. And here's the problem. The map is so bright, I cannot see anything that's going on. But I'm pretty sure we're winning it. There are some units of cavalry there that make things a tiny bit harder. But yeah, I think we're fine. How's Stolten doing? Let's see. He's trading decently. Not too great against this Herald, so we're gonna give him a little bit more support. Bring back our cavalry, and then bring in our skirmishers to help in this area. Because now time is sort of the essence, right? We really want to try and hold this area and capture this point, so that we can win just off of victory tickets. Which is going to be a little bit sketchy, but not the hardest thing in the world, as we do have, I think, a cavalry advantage here. Especially with our Frost Maiden, she can throw in a few more wind spells to take out those exalted demonettes. And over here, this huge cavalry force for Carl Harmon is just being a little bit of a limp noodle. You know, they're not doing much at all, really. And yeah, now we can take this big fight. Now, what are these? Seekers of Slaanesh. Pretty scary. Man, why is this map so white, though? I can't see anything. This glare. Oh my goodness. And nevertheless, I think we won against the Seekers of Slaanesh. Because Sultan's gonna dive on in here. Same with our Ice Witch. We're gonna drop the Permafrost to catch all of these guys out. And then as long as we have a few units left there, I think we're fine. I think he really should have rotated with this cavalry a bit earlier, but that's completely fine for us. And now we increase our vigor. You give it a little bit of healing action over here. We're going to free up our infantry. There we go. These demonettes are gone now. And then our range can help out Castalton, I think. Yeah, there we go. That big AoE clearing out all of the cavalry makes life a lot easier. Next up is this big fight over here in the center that we really have to win. Let's see how well the bear does. We're gonna breath attack these Hellstriders, and hopefully we don't get too much friendly fire. Looks like his lord is running for the hills. That's very good for me, because now Castalton can catch her with a bit of a slow. Nice. Okay, it was a little bit of a scrap, but I think we pulled through. We have the extra balance of power now. Or not balance of power, but we have the lead in damage dealt. His lord's taken a ton of damage now. And she can't easily turn around without Castalton giving her a rough time. Yeah, look at that. Marauders are running. And now it's all about the victory points. We've established a pretty good lead. We have to catch that. Oh my goodness. That was a close call. That's what we call a close call, guys. Castalton very nearly gets caught up in a huge net. Thankfully, he just barely manages to live. And we have some cavalry moving on over here. I'm going to hit them with a big slow. Stop them from killing us here. Ice Bear has done great over on this flank. And it's probably going to move on to Carl Harmon's point, just to make sure that he doesn't cap. Looks like his lord takes a good amount of damage from that big volley. Exactly what I want to see. And over here, these guys, these Kossars, are doing great. They're going to be holding that point and capturing it. So now we just have to win the big fight against the cavalry. Just a few units of infantry here. We're going to heal all of them up, since I don't really have much other use for my heals. And just hoping that Consultant doesn't rout off the map, because if he does, then the leadership is really going to punish my mass infantry style here. But cool, I think we did it, guys. I think we won the first Domination land battle hybrid tournament. Oh man, with some really nice games, honestly. You know, there's some good back and forth. There's a lot of there's a little bit of the strategizing, but there's still a lot of units to control, which is really nice. Yeah, it's really nice to just be able to micro a lot of units on the map at the same time. The terrain seems to play a pretty important role without being overwhelming, at least on these maps. And I feel like there's, you know, you get a decent amount of variety. Maybe I'm just overselling my own tournament. Very likely that I'm doing so, but it does feel that way. Now, it's not over yet, though. I guess there is a chance that Call Harmon just captures all these points back, and then we're sort of screwed. Especially with how long this one took. Yeah, no, it's totally rigged too, yeah. You should have expected that from the start, really. But yeah, there's a chance Call Harmon takes back this middle area. I will be rushing to defend. Let's see, where's my caster? All the way over here. Totally fine. And but sort of the main win that I have here is that his cavalry don't capture very quickly, so this middle point should be able to hold relatively steadfast. The Ice Bear has successfully captured this back point, thus making Call Harmon's life a lot harder than it needs to be. I love it. And nice, those Hellstriders are getting obliterated. Absolutely obliterated by the crossfire. Even the Ice Witch is getting in and onto them into the fight. And can I get a juicy Wind Blast here? I think if this clips enough Marauders, it slows down his capture weight, and then that'll make it harder for him. Doesn't really do that much damage though, because Kislev's Lore of Magic isn't the greatest thing in the world, but you know what? I'll take it. Here we go. Consultant's on the point now. That means that it'll be really hard for Call Harmon to capture this middle point. And then I think we've won it, especially with that Ice Bear coming in. We have a whole extra large single entity to pull in the win here, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, Ice Bear can sort of just blitz onto the point now, and then we'll be good. Because between Consultant and the Bear, this point's not going to get capped. Not in the slightest. Like, single entities have crazy capture weight, and as it touches the point, I eat my words, because apparently the Marauders, they do capture it. Never mind, I was wrong. You know, sometimes it's important to say that you're wrong. All right, let's Wind Blast them then. There we go. Slightly better Wind Blast than the last. And I think he just shouldn't have enough of an army to really win here. Nice. Ice Bear routing everything off. He's going to recap this back point, but that's going to take basically forever. And then his crumbling units are going to do him in. Sick. Sick. We did it, guys. We done did it. Oh, yes. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. I'm really liking this format. It feels like a really nice mix between the two. I might ban 2 Iron Blasters, because it does feel like it overshadows a lot of other factions. Even though I feel like you can get away with having them, you know, it probably results in a cleaner experience, more factions getting played. Will I ban Pendulum? Probably not. I think that's easy enough to counterplay where it's fine. And yeah, nice little tournament. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Oh boy, and I think I got a lot of data too, because one thing that I can do, I can send direct feedback to CA. You know, whether or not they actually implement it is on them. Game development is very hard, so it's totally fine if they don't get to it. But I think this does give a lot of useful data. You know, for one thing, it proves that you can have fairly large armies running around on this map, and it doesn't feel that cluttered. So that's quite nice. Is Consultant gonna die to Demonettes? That'd be pretty spicy. He took a lot of damage there, really. And then what else do I think we learned? I think Pendulum is still pretty scary, but it didn't really make a big showing here. It was nasty, but it didn't really win a lot of games. But no one was really abusing it, so that sort of throws a wrench in my plans. The Iron Blasters still feel very strong. I think they will, if they don't get nerfed next patch, I'd be very surprised. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. That's it. I guess that's a tournament. I've won myself $5 Canadian. Amazing. I'm gonna buy myself a small Steam game, I guess. GG, Call Harmon. Those were really fun matches, I gotta say. I think in the end, my skirmishers really did pretty well. I think Kislev out skirmishes Slanesh, just because like even if I went for like 3 chariots there, that would have been really rough. But yeah, plus those horse archers, look at that, like over 400 value on all of them. Not a terrible trade. The bear at full HP, although it was still a little bit scary. That permafrost though on my witch did a lot more damage than I thought it would have. I think in this case, having a ice witch around is actually quite good. Quite good for dealing with Slanesh. Much worse against armor, much worse against Zinch, but not bad. Not bad. Good games. Good games, Call Harmon. Was fun. Was fun for everyone that played in the tournament. I will most definitely be hosting another one of these in the future. And then, yeah, it should be a good time. Oh my gosh. Well, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to host more in the future. For the feedback. But why not host for money? Too much cheese? All right, so I think we're basically done here. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in to watch. I will not be hosting this like all the time, but you know, whenever I get the itch, I'll probably do it. I'll put up an announcement on my Discord. You can find that down below. And if you want to support me and my Warhammer endeavors, I do have a Patreon. Sadly, I don't have too many rewards there, but I'm thinking of mixing in like, you know, maybe some early access to videos or updates about how, like, you know, what I'm doing. Maybe something along those lines. So that out of the way. Peace out. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow with another YouTube video. I'm going to be pumping them out this week, so stay tuned and have a wonderful day.